luminous beings, like these luminous beings, that something happens every time they think stuff. So they're already extremely careful. Well, not even careful. They already, like, they don't think worthless thoughts. Like, they don't have thoughts that are unuseful. They treat thoughts differently. They realize that all thoughts are alive and all thoughts are things already. So they know as soon as they think something, something's about to happen. You understand? And so so even thoughts of what they want to say to someone, that's a thing already. That's a happening already. So when they think of wanting to communicate an idea to someone else, it's just done.
It's done. Yeah. See, I genuinely believe that. So I've done a little bit of study into this because I believe that we all maybe have the ability to. We just have lost it, and we have gained other things. We've lost that, but gained other things. Like,
it's kind of weak. It's still there. It's kind of weak, and some people. That's why I love this talk.
We just need to remember.
He's already using parts of his brain that open up those channels, but we already still do this stuff, and you can witness it when you're like worried about your kid and they're not around you, but then you find out, oh, something actually did happen. You know?
Yes, you're channeling into something.
Yeah, or they call it ESP. But go ahead, Mr. Talk. You know what I'm saying? Explain that for us, right quick.
Okay, so here's what's going to be told. Where did I get this from? First of all, understanding what is 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to turn my camera around for a second for myself to. I need to understand what is A, B, C, D, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Why? I was taught in school the alphabet. A is first, B is second, C is third. Can I use this coding? If I use this coding and I run numbers on an angle, what happens on quadrille paper is this. Oh, I got to take that off.
We can't see it very well. Okay.
Yes, and I got to turn it around now. Hold on a second. Okay, so what it is when we count over here, you count 1 dot, and then it's equal to 2 dots, and then it's equal to 3 dots. So far, so good. So now here, I'm balanced off 1, balances to 3, balances to 5. This one also is 1 line to 3 lines to 5 lines, or what can be 2 dots to 4 dots to 6 dots. Only the one that runs on the angle goes by ABC 1, 2, 3, in which shows you that when I run that angle design before, what happens to 1 and 3 is I need the area gap separation in order to have its own area space. Therefore, 2 is going to be a rib, an association of joining 1 and 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm following.
And this is where we get these 3 different setups. But there's one more setup. The other one is the dot. The other one is the dot setup. Now, when I do this, I have to ask myself a question. Am I going to relate to this as a dot and a line? If I did it and I went to the Sumerian, I'm going to count this one over here as 5, 15, and 25. I'm going to count this one as 2 and 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, and 5, and the same thing here. In Sumerian or Aztec, it's 5 and 1.
Okay, so now going back to what you were saying about their counting system with 13. What was you trying to tell me?
Okay. Okay, here. Okay, so now over here. Okay, what this is if you can see, let me see if I can point. Okay, I don't want to do it. I want to do it on this side. My fingers aren't in the right place. Okay, here. You see this X over here? This is just the joining of the first square and the second square, the third square, the fourth square. Then this square has a joining square here equal to this square equal to that square, this square equal to this square. The count goes like this. 1, jump into the next square 3, jump into the next square 5, jump into the next square 7, stop. When you come onto this side, this square here and this square here get the same number. This one is 5, this one is 5. This one is 3, this one is 3, this one is 1, this one is 1. So far, so good?
Yeah.
When you're,
I can see that.
So when you're counting by 13, you need one area space that joins between one side and the other side that partakes in both sides.
Oh.
Okay, I'm back up to speed. I'm back.
It's just transitionary.
So
Yeah, I can see that.
this one over here is number 7.
Okay.
Number 7.
This one here is 5.
3 and 1, and then the opposite side would be
5, 3, and 1.
Same. Yeah, 5, 3, and 1.
Now what's going to join 7 and 5?
12.
6.
6.
And then here?
Oh, I see.
6, 6.
6, 6, yeah.
Right.
So I was right, 12.
Yes. Well, yes, it's 12. Every day we're going to have 7. Then we're going to have 6 and 6 would be 12. And then we'll have 5 and 5 is 10. The thing is, the 6 and 6 is only a rib to connect both 5 and 7 and 7 and 5.
Okay.
Those-
The 6 between the 5 and 7.
Yes. Yes, the 6 between the 5 and 7. Don't forget that, one of the most important numbers you'll ever know in history.
Big problem.
1776 reverse 1776.
I don't know what days he be coming in. B said he come in when he want to come in.
Hey, you gotta
He
go
come
with the
in when he
flow.
want to come in, B.
You gotta go with the flow, man. Every day is a different story.
Yeah, I don't catch him every day. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes you're doing different research to bring to the table. That's all. And sometimes it takes time to get everything in line. That's all it is.
Anyways, so help us to better understand why that Mayan count is so accurate.
Okay, just choose any two numbers. Choose any two numbers. Just choose any two numbers.
3 and 5.
Okay, do you want to use 35 or do you want to use 8?
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah, let's do 35.
Yeah, 35.
Okay, 35 is a perfect number. Can you choose another one?
All right.
47.
Okay, 6 by 7 is 42. Missing 5. 5 times 142 is 714,285. Can you divide that for me after the decimal?
285.
7142857.
All right, that's 140. That's 142.5.
Did you get that?
He answered.
What was the answer? Don't count. Only one after the decimal.
142.5.
Which
After
number
the
did you
decimal.
give me?
You said from split to 85, right?
No, the number.
No, it's 35.
No, the number I heard was 47.
It was 47,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so the answer has to be 714,285.
714,285.
So divide it by 7. Divide 47 by 7.
7.
Some remaining.
Yeah, I only want the remaining part.
Be 49.
What is it?
Yeah, what's the remainder, Nova?
2.
Something's wrong, didn't I? I'll show you.
7 point, no, because 7 goes into 47 6 times with a remainder of 2 left over because 7 times 7 is 49.
Okay, you're right. There you go.
Okay, you're going backwards. Okay, wow. Okay.
I'm sorry. I know my brain's odd.
Okay, no, that's good. I want to go look at something because you did that. I want to go see something. Tell me what. Okay, 7 by 7, 49. You missed. So you're minus 2. You're minus 2.
Yes.
Does that leave you at 28, 57, 14?
28, 57, 14. I have no idea. I have no idea.
Okay, so do this. Yeah, do this. Do this. 47 divided by 7, okay, should equal to 714,285.
Oh, okay. On a calculator, that's what it would equal. 74285. Okay, I see.
Okay, and so give me any other number.
Holy cow, that was incredible. Okay, 24.
Okay, so that'll be 3, so that'll be 428,571.
26.
26 is going to be the same thing. It's going to be 714,285.
The same as 47?
Yeah. Yeah. You know why?
No, I need to know why now.
One of them is 1 in a million, and all this comes from the Mayan Sanskrit, the Toltec, and the Hab calendar. It's how they move their numbers around. It's an absolute. You can't make a mistake. And when you take a look at the answer, take a look at the answers you got in any one of them, the total will add up to 27, and there will be no 3, 6, or 9.
All right, I'm going to do that. Hold on a second.
I'm just going to grab a glass of water.
16, 65. Oh my gosh, it does.
I love when you do this, bro.
I never question people. I just do it on my own.
You give people air.
Then you pull out the money.
This is incredible. I've never even heard of this. So, like, where can I go study this for myself outside of you?
Because
I mean, not that I don't want to. I would love to learn.
He did it with the Monopoly board. Show him.
It's a download.
He did it with the Monopoly board. There's only so many places. There's only so many squares on the Monopoly board. Tell him about the Monopoly board.
All right.
Listen, it doesn't stop.
The same thing with the Monopoly board.
Number 29. Does anybody know anything about number 29?
29, Wisdom Born. All right.
I have no idea. No. What about 29?
Well, 29 is the beginning of the new cycle. It's the end of the, you wrote a sentence out. At the end of a sentence, you put a period. You have the period. You start the new cycle on the 29th day. It's the first day of the next cycle.
Yeah. So hence why we have months like that.
It's funny the way we have B cards that are called B, and on the ace, okay, is a number 92, which looks like a 76, because our arrival here, right, is when they duplicated us, ABC, ABC, with one in between connection. That connection only comes in 6. Well, all you need is the hexagon. Once you lock up the 8, that's a lock position. The stop sign is a lock position. It's the backboard formation for the 666 to rotate around.
Oh.
It's, whoa. It's this. And it's this, and it's this.
Yeah.
That's it. 4 areas here, 4 areas here. Everybody crossing at the 5th core position, the 5 core position. This one splits everything in half. This splits everything in half. The Fox angle, FOX, 45 degrees. Why do I call it Fox?
The timetable and this one together. What they call that star? It's an 8-point star. With the plus sign and the timetable sign together. What do they call that stuff?
Rats. Must be part of Tartaria because all stars are rats. All rats hang out in the sewage system. The sewage system is owned by Bell Communications.
You say rats start with an R and an A, Ra, huh?
Oh yeah, it's the rat star. It's one of my favorite designs. Oh, you can't see it up on the wall. I got a mouse and a rat. You know the mouse runs the ball? My first mouse had a ball in it. So, where were we with this? So let me finish this off. This is connected directly to the Mayan movement of time.
Geometric star, that's what they call it.
Oh, I like that. Geo is 5775. The year, just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second.
Geometric star. I've seen it many times before, but I didn't know what it was called.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, so what you see behind here, right, is actually the alphabet. It's the 26 letters of the alphabet. I run from the bottom left, okay, over to 7 and down to where you see number 2. That's going to be an association of 13 area spaces. So far, so good?
Yeah.
Now, when you go over to where number 7 is equal. Why is it 1? Why did I stop over there and go face to face? Because in counting gematria, the gematria rule, okay, is 1 over to 7 down to 1. Start over at 1, where the letter N is, and then go up to number 7, but this time the 7 is the letter T, and I'm T minus counting NASA on the countdown. And then I go down over to Z. And this is where your Toltec calendar, I believe, sets in. This area over here on this angle. So these are your 26 letters. Now you're going to say, well, so what? Well, look, I have 13, and now I have 7. 13 name days, and 7. Look, it even has the N like the Nordic star. Right? 13 and 7, 20, and then 6 more to go. Or how about 20 and 6 more to go? Now you'll say, look at that perfect W, right? Or is it the letter M? No, if it's the letter M, I'm going to put my 7th gate right over here. Here's where the letter M starts, here and here. This is the letter W. Although they use the same heart zone, or do they use the same heart zone?
Oh, so it's just like the reverse of, I see. Like the W and the M. Identical.
Would you like to see something freaky? So now, this is the 7, this is the 13 from the Mayans connecting to our alphabet, where G and T, those letters, played the 7th position. The power of Christ, 77. 7 and 7 is 14, 1 and 4 is 5. Welcome to the E-world, between the sun and the moon. Don't go too far away. We are already in Mars. Mars is here.
They say you gotta go through.
Hey, wait, hold on. I be thinking that all of the freaking time, because that's kind of slick what happened in Total Recall. When he was supposedly going to Mars, he never really left where he was. He was in a freaking
I see.
He was in some freaking junk that play out like he in the metaverse. Yeah, went inside of the business.
So it's just like the flip side of us, huh?
So he was sitting down in the chair with a jump hooked up.
He never really left.
Just like the man.
It's a different time of existence. It's a different time of existence.
1 between 2. 1 between 2. 1 between 2. The departure in the same corridor of 3 is 4. They run the same corridor. The entire gateway run the corridor of what is 3 and 4 at the focal point of 3.5, which is what is 8 times 3, 8, hold on a second. What is 8 times 3.5 equals to 1 cycle moon, and 1 1/4 equaling to 3.5, giving us the heart of this cube. With that said, we have stopped in the eye of this, leaving over, which is almost to the point of the exact distance of 3.14159265, all around the core of the 7th gate of this cube. This cube has 3 opposite sides. It has 4 that wrap the ring and 2 to the pole. What you see is all 7s opposite. What you see, 6 and 1. See it or you don't? Tell me I don't see it. 1. Tell me you don't see 6. They add to 7. 4 opposite 3 adds to 7.
Yeah.
We have 6 opposite 1 adds to 7. And every single one has the same thing in common. 3.5. 2.5 plus 3.5 is 6. 2.5 plus 1 is 3.5. When it is the 2 and 5 and 1.5.
It's still a 7.
It's 1.5 difference. They express Earth and Mars. 3, the third planet, the fourth planet. 3 times 120 degrees and 4 times 90 degrees. We must bring 3 and 4 together, and there must be a game. Okay, there must be a game. It has to exist now. If it doesn't exist, nothing I say will say what it says. It'll say something else. But what it says is exactly what it does. Hockey is 3 periods, 120 degrees. 360 for 60 minutes, matching up to the 60 minutes of 15 minutes in sports. 4 times 15 minutes equals to 60. So we need to find out where that 3 and 4 is, because that's the base corridor at 3.5. But it's not only 3.5. The thing with what's happening in the US right now, all those numbers are all magnificent, exactly like they had to be. I knew before. I mean, I didn't know. I can just tell you the sequence. Number 23, 23 strands. Check this out. 23. What is it about number 23?
It's 5.
Number 23 is BC. It's the ABC or it's the DBC.
Oh, yeah, that's who, yeah.
It's the ABCD equaling to 1, 2, 3, 4 equaling to 10. Now, so what is this 10? So I've opened up too many cans of worms. Let me back off a little bit. I don't want to lose. We're 38. We should. So there's 38 people right now covering for the 8 billion on the planet. You know that's the way I look at it. Because I know the science is perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like what I'm going to share, either I don't come across properly, in which I know, but I know the science is perfect. Like this Monopoly game, when I brought it out.
No, because even the drawing that you have behind you is the same thing as the folded thing that you was showing me that time. You know what I'm talking about?
We can't see that.
Gee.
Yeah, it's kind of being a pain.
No, it's not, Ma. Stay off my back. I can't hear you, Ma. No, I know them all. We know each other personally. Yes, we come from the same family. CRAZY. Oh, Ma, I didn't forget the A. The A is the roof, you know. Has anybody ever looked at the A? Here's the A.
My name starts with an A.
Here's the A.
Nova, by the way.
Right.
You can't do anything with a straight line. You need 3 points. I got 1 point, 2 points, 3 points. And I got all connected to 1 point. It's 120 degrees. It's 1 corner of Rubik's Cube. It's going to show you. And by the way, if you want to learn where I got this from, well, you're looking at the tools right now. Looking at the tools right now. Here is a miniature that you can fit inside of this. This is the area space I need so I can get out and start to live. I got the book on top of me. I got the reflector cap plug in. I'm ready to go. Take me away. See, I got my angles like, you know, the nuns in the church on that. So this angle.
That's crazy. They show you this. Freaking Mary popping.
I'm feeling that vibe.
They show you this freaking Mary
popping. I'm feeling your frequency.
It's also a representation.
Why do they show this in Mary Poppins?
Because her bonnet, it's the exact same shape. Yeah, I remember.
Oh my gosh, it really is though.
I'm in wizard mode on the alchemy.
Because you gotta be able to.
I like the hat though. Works well.
The whole thing about sacred geometry is you should be able to see it everywhere, even in nature. You should be able to see it everywhere. And what you're looking at is mathematics. That's what you're looking at.
You gotta build off of mathematics to a degree.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the cube.
That's the
And
third
that's the
eye.
cube.
The way he got set up
it's
look
what?
like
You're right.
dollar bill. It looked
It
like
does.
a dollar
It's the
bill.
exact form of what your hat is. Exactly the same.
Okay. Also, when you look at whatever that shape is on the top of Saturn, it's a cube. But what do you call it when it's 8? It's a
Octagon.
Anyways, don't worry about that.
Octagon.
But there's different ways to look
What about
at.
an 8-sided cube?
You cooking right now.
Yeah.
God.
There's different ways to look at number 8, right? And not only mathematically, but art-wise as itself. I mean, if you put 2 cubes on a diamond like this, right, you're going to be able to see all the sides, although you'll lose 2 corners. So what you had is 8 and 8, 16 corners, now becomes what is 14 plus 2 connect, leaving no corners, but an area space now that's at the X zone right here. Do you follow me? So if I connect it this way,
There has to be a pairing.
even so, Lord the drill with that hat there, okay? The beards, when you intertwine the beards, one direction is moving by 4, the other is moving by 2. When you move by 2, you move half an element.
Okay.
The movement of the elements are by 4. You go from a fire sign at 1 to a Aries to a fire sign at Leo at 5 to a fire sign at Sagittarius. Now, what I have been programmed to note is that A, E, I, O, and U, A, E, I, O, and U, A, E, O, and U. I am in between what is A, E, and O, U.
Oh yeah. I can see that correlation.
A, E, I, O,
All right,
and U.
so math. Okay, so basically, like, language and math are the same thing. Language and math are the same thing. All right, so I'm like, all right, well, why did they add vowels? Why do you think vowels were added to language?
The question, well, first of all, I never asked that question to myself, but first of all, thank God they did. Right? Because in the word, the first 2 letters of vowel are also 2 letters in the word of love. So that's a good start. In fact, the inside the word vowel is the word love. So why did they add love and a couple of extra letters? Maybe for perception of communication between the differences. Because on your departure, we all use the telephone line. Now, are you male or female coming here? I don't know. I haven't connected to the source. So when you get here to the source, were you disconnected, reconnected? How was your operation of connection come in once number 71? What's that? Yeah, you going up to the donut hole? Yeah, I got a lot swimming behind me, but don't worry, no one's getting in. I can hear my number at the other side. I already knew I was getting in. You know what I'm saying? Woohoo! I'm here, baby. Yeah.
So do names have numbers, and do they mean something in any way?
That's gematria. So indeed.
Yeah, that's gematria.
For my.
I got one name nobody else got. I pulled up like, anybody else got this name?
So I have a question.
What's your question, Lud?
So he said there has to be a game that already exists, right? And that's why I put like football, like the football field in the comments, because 3 feet are in a yard. The whole field is 100 yards. You divide 100 by 10, you get 10. 10 is equal to 1 through 4. It leads you back to 5 if you split the field in half.
Yeah.
So you just said the whole field is 100 yards, so that means it's 300 feet. You feel me?
Correct, which is 3. So there's your 3 and 4.
Yep. So what is this behind you?
Okay, before we get to that, the person who is speaking, can we finish with them? Is that okay? But don't forget what you asked me. Sorry to do that. Is that okay?
That's fine. I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, the biggest thing, our big problem here on this planet, sorry for me, is how we all discord together. Because when I started doing this, I learned after a certain point, I have to fight myself all the time on my choices. And I have to balance myself by all those I bump into on how they perceive me and what they say, and to learn whether or not what corrections I should make from what they say. And what I just say to them is put up the third finger and say, thank you very much. I'll think about it, you know? But everybody is just another piece of the puzzle. So now with all that said, the football field. If it is the NFL, it is 10 yards. And you have a first down. You have 4 tries. Is that correct?
Sure, yeah.
Is this what you meant by 4 tries? 1, 2, 3, 4?
Right, like the 15 minutes of each quarter.
Okay,
There's
so...
four quarters.
So what is ironic about that is add it up. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 10. 10 yards.
Yeah.
Now, a ruler is 12 inches. So, like, I want to understand, why are we associating with 10 when a ruler is 12 inches? Well, we need to do 3 times what is 12 inches, okay, in order to equal to 1 foot. And now once we have the 1 foot, we need 3 times the 1 foot in order to equal to 3 feet in order to get the 1 yard. Now we need to do this 10 times.
Oh.
That's when the yards come in.
So, and that's where Lilith also comes in.
Oh, wow. The yard.
Lilith, when you're looking at this ruler, right, if you look at the lines, one is long, one is short, one is long, one is short. I always saw that as L-I, 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 L-I. Like Lily, right? L-I, L-I, the long, the long and the short, right? I also looked at it as the hash mark.
What's a hash mark?
In the game of football, they have markings between the big markings that go across that cut the every 5 and 10 yards. They'll have 4 markings that when you're in between this mark and that mark. Now in football,
I thought y'all heard me. I said length. Keep going, but I when you said the L-I, what I heard was length. The word length. It's extremely close to the word living. I've never thought about that before. Keep going.
so if you want to bring it close, one of the things about the N letter, which runs on a 45 angle, the N and the Z both run on like this because of the crossings, unlike the H and the I. So where do they come from? And you know it's more comfortable to stay like this than it is like this. Like this, I feel like I'm trapped. But like this, I feel like I'm free. Like this, I feel like one of my eyes have been blocked out. I may become the one-eyed Jack. Now you see both my eyes.
Now you see, yeah.
My whole story is based on what you can naturally do.
This is beautiful. That's beautiful. That's also why the Jaguars would have chose the X. Even nature depicts that, like, that's the best defense. You can't defend yourself the other way.
How would you spell Jaguar?
Yeah, I know a J doesn't belong there.
Would you put a... You go ahead.
The J derives from the I.
So, hey, you ever seen my man speak on the Jaguar? You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like a bass, the Black Panther to a degree. Y'all feel me?
Well, did you know that everything has been I mean, my work, when I speak, I'm not telling you this is what it is. I'm just telling you these are the games, and in the games this is what's happening, and these are words that are related. The letter A can be split in half, and you will have a right angle and a left angle. Now, can I do it in artwork? When it comes to artwork, I go ahead and I make a little square. Just show you this teeny little square. See if I can show it up here. See these squares here? So the minute I cross my A this way, I have cut every square in half. That is the same halving I showed you before with the dots. The only card that it's showing me when you do that, you're slicing every area in half. When that is done, that is known as the 45-degree angle. It's a legal angle for separation. Why? Because it's fair. It's a builder's code to cut corner to corner. You have to use the builder's code. Noah, Jesus, Moses, they were all into architecture, right? And then all of a sudden, where are the riches going? Where are the millions and billions? Why million? Letter M, 13th letter. Why billion? Letter B, 2 times 2, 2 times 4, 2 times 6. What is...
That's my initials.
MB.
Yeah, that's Miguel Bonds. That's my name.
Master Builder.
Exactly.
I'm just tipping off that.
And we just said millionaire and billionaire. Those letters were chosen on purpose.
Jay, down here in the chat, you've been given lots of gifts. Do you have anything to say down there? She's been so quiet.
Come on up here, man. Come build with us, please.
Who? Okay, am I somebody just saying something to me?
No, hold on, Drew.
I'm gonna see it.
When JP ready to talk, she can talk. She just being respectful.
Aw, love her little heart.
Yeah, I'm sure that G probably got questions.
I apologize. If that you guys, everything that is being said, like some words just go deep, and I stop listening. I heard Jaguar, and I saw him pulling out the cardboard game thing, and he took me to the 70s.
No, okay.
Okay, my heart is beating really fast because that was a game. There was a game we used to play. It was a board game, and it was a baseball game. That was like the first big games in for me, for my culture, and I guess the U.S. too. A little, I don't know. Okay, the game, the board consists of 4 animal logos. And it was the Jaguars, which we call Jaguar with a T. The J maybe didn't exist, then they replaced it, but it's Jaguar. It's a tigre, like a tiger. So
the T, the T letter, the J letter, okay, these letters, I like to perceive them as how can we achieve them numerically. The connection between the upper and lower realm of numbers is the passage through number 5.
Okay, can I give you then another thing? In the game, for you to get out, you play with dices. When you throw, in order for you to get out from the first player to get out from their box, it has to be a 5 or a double 5.
Or a double
if that
5.
helps you on something, yes. And let me see. 24, 12 is a very important game number in the board. They all basically compete to get all their little color thingies all around the board until they go into the middle, which is like a portal, like home. Whoever gets all of their features, I don't know how to say that.
Are you talking about sorry?
No. It's no. I don't see it. I have been trying to Google it, like to buy it, but I guess I'm gonna have to draw it because we used to draw it when we couldn't afford one back then.
Okay, so let me explain what just went on so we don't spread everything over. What you said, and not only yourself, and thank you very much, and I'm not sure if this is for me to take over from you because I'm not in control of this channel. So I'm sorry, Magnificence, for even doing this. But
No, I was just giving you know, guys, something maybe you can work with us.
Well, so what it is magnificent. Can I take the floor? You have something to say before?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So what happens is, where's the calculator? Because in order to do the work I do, or to tell the stories I tell, I need the calculator. I like the calculator, or I can go to the ATM. I can pick up my telephone. I can use the keyboard. You know, wherever you see the set of 9.
Let's go old school, baby. Let's go old school.
Right. So when I look at the telephone, I see PQRS, and I look at the number 9. I got WXYZ. I went to the ATM. I was so upset. I wanted to cry. They moved the Q from number 7. They put it on number 1, and there was no one to talk to ask him why. I said, is this the same one I pressed at home on my telephone? It didn't have the Q on the number 1. It was on, because they changed the whole concept.
Somebody up that was using Braille, that would have really messed them up.
So, well, they know where they are. So what it is instead of being valued at 70 at 4 numbers, it's now valued at 53 at 3 numbers. So it gives me a new evaluation for understanding what 7's all about. This is all about us, for me. This is all about now our perception. Now we know, I know 1,000% the stories I tell you. Why is Earth and Mars? Earth is the 3rd planet, 3 by 120 for 360. The 4th planet is Mars. My keyboard shows me a $sign for Mars. Guess what? Numeric value for Mars is 51. It's 1 through 5, equaling to that. I also know that I was taught over time, through all those, that the Earth healing vibration is 432. Well, that fits between the bookends between A and E, or what is 5 and 1, Area 51, or also known as Mars. What is AE is only the undocumented. What is EI? So what is AE to EI to EI to AE to EIEIO with all? 3 fire signs, knocking Aries into Leo and over to who? Yes, right, Sagittarius. Why? Where did I do this? It's when you bring the lower world to the upper worlds. When you look at the deck of cards, there's a center area in the deck of cards. Let me do this so I don't lose anybody. The difference between 19 and 29. Hike. Oh, we didn't finish football yet. Where was I now? Okay, I want to continue on this before I get back to the football. Oh, what just happened? Somebody help me. Help me, save me.
Throw this in here real quick. You got
the difference between... I got him, the difference between 19 and 29.
Yeah. Okay, here it is. So, what we have is we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's forget about the 1. Let's forget about the 5. Then we go 6, 7, 8, 9. Now let's forget about the 9. This is what it's going to look like.
Magnificent. What did I walk into today? Oh my God.
You walked into the fire.
Wait, we didn't say that. I want to say it again. Okay. 1594876. Okay.
These are 3 fire signs over here.
I'm an Aries.
Okay. Here's the representation. You can either have them crossing this way, 1, 5, and 9, or this way. Here they are. So one of the area spaces in connecting to equality, these are like the pylons. The A, E, I are the pylons. So where are the vowels inside this game? The 6 is a recipient of a vowel. The O is in the 6th house. Do you know what complements the 6? The 3, and that's the holder of the 2nd vowel. This is a U for 21, okay. And this is an O for 15. The total is 36, and they are 36 for 360 degrees. They double up. 3, 6 doubles up. Male. This is part of the male connection. You need the A and the B to create C. C duplicates 3 times 6. and 3 plus 6 equals to 18. 1 and 8 equals to 9. 3 plus 6 equals to 9. When they duplicate, they remain the same singularity of 9. They're the only ones.
Oh my goodness.
Man, he's been doing some research, man.
This is all numerology, yo. This is all
geometry. But on a whole nother degree,
sacred geometry.
I see the formula he using. I see it clear as day. I needed that right now. I'm for real, yo.
I'm going to see if I can just flip this. I'm going to try. Yeah, should I go to the football field? Yeah, but so what you see now is 6 and 4, right? 6 and 4 equals to 10. 2 and 8 equals to 10. I just want to...
7 and 3 do too.
7 and 3 equals to 10. But I'm looking for my calculator, and I do have 5 calculators, by the way, like
1
City.
and 9 equal 10.
Just want to find this some calculator somewhere. Oh, I get so nervous when I can't find all my tools. Okay, we'll use this one over here. So check it out, right? Check it out. 1 and 9 is 10. 7 and 3 is 10. 4 and 6 is 10. 8 and 2 is 10. Everything passes through 5.
Everything.
So when you pass through 5, 5 is E. You pass through again, it's E. You pass through again, it's E. You pass through again, it's E. So this becomes 5, 10, 15, 20. E, J, O, T. You connect the two together, you get Y. So instead of having what you have is Jesus, you got Yahweh.
Yahweh, yeah.
Instead.
That's what I was calling.
And that also traces back to like the name of the awards, like the EGOT, an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar.
Oh.
And what's the T one? There's gotta be a T one.
Yeah, because this here is the power for transformation. E.T. go home, use the phone, underground. Atlantis, okay, is below. It was buried below, right? They buried Atlan, right? The first communication that we had when we first came in here was the Atlanta communication systems. One of the first systems I got. So LAN, when you use LAN, why not complete the word, right? There's DNA. Right. D is a representation of 500. Did anybody know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it's a Roman numeral. Roman D is 500. See, the Roman D is 500 and the Roman M is 1000. So what you do is you connect D and D through M, and then you have 1000 between the two sides.
Yeah.
Oh, it's getting good, yo.
So
I'm just curious if our name has significance with this. Like if we were given a name that has significance to it.
Has anybody ever seen this?
What does it say?
Yod, is that the Yod?
Yod Hey.
Yeah.
They reserved it for the name of God.
The Yod Hey Vahe.
You know?
Yeah, Yod Hey Vahe.
You know where it is?
Where?
It's right here. Yod Hey. 10 and 5. You know why I put this here? Because when you start Monopoly, you start off with 1,500. You put 500 into free parking.
Yeah.
You get 400 for landing on go, and you get 200 for passing it.
I mean,
Pass equals to 55, by the way. It's a sky pass. So
yeah, that's just like that day was breaking my name down in the M. You said what you was talking about the value of the M then is off purpose 1,000.
the M is huge. It also represents the Federation of Saturn Cube. It represents the Queen's control of this. and it's ended. You know what the year it ended? It ended in the year 2015. Do you want me to show you where to find this information?
Exactly.
That's why they're irrelevant now.
We're into overtime.
No, it's like I can remember how people kept looking for something in 1999, and they was looking for it in 2000, and then they went back to these same calendars that we be talking about, and they tried again in 2012, and what you was looking for was in 2015. I'm new at that.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Everything ends on 666 times 3 is 1998 years complete plus 1 starting the first year ending 1999 the year 2000. The year 2000 is only a cycle of what is known as a day of 1440 minutes in a day to run the 1 between 2 equaling to 3 for your first formation. This is where your 9 comes in. This is where Saturn square comes in. Over here you have your 9 areas. 1 center, okay, to 8. So this over here is 4320. This is the completion of the interior of the cycle. When you finish and you turn the cycle over to the other side and you start over again, right? And this is going to change after, but when you add one more 1440 instead of 3 days, right? Because this number is equivalent to what is 3 times 24 equals to 72, representing of the mother itself without the child. We are this.
Can't see.
Oh, hold on a second. We are this. Okay, this is 6 numbers, right? And we are 1 and a million. Don't forget the divided house, and we have to connect with our feet on the ground. We are 1 in a million, turning the 6 numbers into 7 numbers, but the ace is what either joins or separates the 2 delta angles, the trinity of the house, the split house that we live in, one of the corners. The numeric value to plug it in, like a jack to plug it in, right?
So that would just basically say, like, just like how that 72 is real important. So that was sort of be like basically saying, like, we only even know about, like, we barely know about the cornerstone of reality. We barely even discover what the cornerstone of reality is.
Honestly, I mean, I think things are moving a lot faster than what they used to, so I think we're gonna be open up to a lot of things before all this
It's like a wave. It's like a wave form. We know what perfection looks like because we've done it before.
Yeah, there's a quote
it's sort of like the way a wave works.
Yeah, she says, just remember. She goes, I don't need you to learn. I need you to remember. And that's how she always starts her podcast. She's like, just remember, because it's in you. Like, we've done this. We've had this technology.
Like he said Mars was here. Like how when he said Mars was here, because it's sort of like saying that Mars is just the reverse side of the coin or whatever,
Yeah, like the opposite.
And in the movie Total Recall, like I was saying, the dude, he really was just sitting in a chair. He never had left where he was.
Yeah.
He's sitting there. He's sitting there trying to recall being in someplace, and he never really left where he was. So the place where he was trying to remember, it was actually right there where he was. He was trying to remember how that place used to be in a different phase of existence.
Yeah, absolutely. I just so wish we could go back in time. I so wish we could. Just to see what it was like to live that way. Oh, I bet you it was beautiful.
That's what you have your imagination for.
Yeah.
That's what you have your imagination for. when you really tap into yourself, you can visit many places. I know this for a fact. You can visit many places if you actually tap into that part of yourself.
We're gonna shift time. Don't worry, it's gonna be really kooky. So you want to? I'm going to show you. Somebody asked me earlier on, where are the? Because I want to continue on to show how we lead up to connecting our alphabet, the game of pool, the Sumerian or Mayan Sanskrit of the 13 name days, the Hab and Soltic calendar, to the rotation of our 13 moons, 7 days a week, all into rotation, in formation. Okay, number for number, in absolute. You can't break the math in binary code. Now, I can't show it to you running as a machine, but I can show you all the pieces and parts in assembly, and you can probably imagine most of it. It's just like so crazy how so perfect it is. Like, there is absolutely a creator to this world, undeniable.
Yeah.
I broke open. I mean, even when some people say, well, what's 420? Don't say that word. Well, don't say THC. Does anybody know what THC is?
Tell them.
No.
That's the teacher. You're put into creation by the 4 houses of creation. The Mars plan. The plan was ET, right? The first E and the final T. Right? You want to cross all the T's, dots, the dashes, and all that stuff? You think they were joking? You think it was an idiom for something else? All these idioms that are out there are just...
Tap the screen.
Tap the screen. I'm just going to...
Every time I tap my screen, it makes me give money to somebody. I can't like this live without giving money.
Well, don't do that.
No. Tap my box. Tap
your box?
Tap my box.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, the black spot.
I was like, I can't.
So, did you know the word brown equals to 72?
Brown?
Yeah. Did you know the word money equals to 72? Did you know that if we wrote down 2 7s equals to 14, right?
Yeah.
So if I wrote down a whole bunch of 7s, right? Like 6 7s equals to 42?
Yes.
Right? Does anybody know this one? Check this out. Here is the letter N. Okay, it's the 14th letter. It's also noted to be 1 and 4 equals to 5. Okay? The E letter, okay, is also...
But an N is 2 7s, like, back to back, just flipped around from one another.
Yeah, for real.
Oh my gosh, it is.
Can we do it a little bit deeper than that? Check this out if you do that. Just 1 second. So you're talking about that part. You want to see something? What if I did... Hold on a second. Oh no, I ruined it. I need a bigger page. Can you see it here? I can't see too good. So if I did 1, 2, let me see. 1, 2. What if I just kept doing this? I can't see. Wow.
They're 7.
Okay, are they 7s? At what point are they 7s? I mean, wouldn't I have to just split it here to become a 7? Or
3 more 7s.
Or did this actually happen? That we have the R letter. And then we have from the other side the R letter. And then it's split over here. And then you put your protractor and you draw all the way around, and then you ask yourself, where did the R letter come from? And this is where you split it at 180 degrees, and then it's split again at 90 degrees. And that equals to 270, representing the house. It represents brown and money. You want to see what happens to black? You want to see the number of black?
Yeah.
Black is number 29. It's the IT system connect link to the Cube Direct holding all the gateways. It is representing. It is
that
Mars.
motif reminded me of the Bluetooth logo. It looks just like what you're drawing, but one of those three triangles is replaced by the two little tails, making another triangle in the back. So check the Bluetooth logo. Look at
67.
it. Huh?
Oh, sorry.
Just check the picture.
It says soul is 67.
Yeah, and water is 67. So the breath you take is within the soul, so therefore it's within the black. So when you breathe it in, it becomes ashes and dust, does it not? Because it burns within inside of us when we breathe it.
Yep.
This is where the teacher comes in, the THC. Has anybody ever heard of the Olympics before?
Right.
So now we also...
The ring, yeah.
So what it is first I just want to just present myself for a second. There's so much to say when I do this. When I don't see and present myself, I feel like I'm left out.
Is that may I ask you something? Did you paint that on your wall?
Yeah.
Or your ceilings?
I was about to ask you that too. Is that artwork your creativity that came to you?
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Hey, Big Bird.
That's your ceiling?
That's my mouse.
Ceiling.
Yeah, that's the ceiling.
Wow. Intriguing.
Yeah. I'd like to have somebody do that to my house.
The next place I get a mortgage, I'm doing some stuff in that house.
I would.
That thing that go in the dark wall paint, when you turn your light off, it look white in the daytime, but when you turn the light off, it glow in the dark.
I bet you it does black light already.
Well, you know what? If somebody wants to set it up, no problem. Come. If anybody is interested in promoting this stuff, because what it is it's truth and it's stories about games. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I believe this has to get out. This is all about games.
Do you have pictures of it? Like, have you ever just sat and taken pictures of it and put it in a frame?
I've put a few things online over 20 years and I've had zero comeback. Even a zero comeback on something I did in 2015. If you look up Mr. Tacpans and punch this in, you'll see this for sale online. This shirt.
Mr. What?
Hold on, let me just turn around the
Oh, okay,
camera.
up here, Tactics.
Wow, Transformers came in mind. Remember he was doing all the symbols on the wall?
Now go ahead and screenshot that.
Yeah,
Hold on.
I'm doing the same thing. Hold on, don't move it too far.
Less that. Hold on, man.
And I don't want now one of y'all. And I don't want now one of y'all. Out of all 40 people, I don't want now one of y'all trying to pretend that any of y'all introduced me to Mr. Tacpans. That's my friend.
Oh, that's your dog, man.
Listen to you.
I appreciate this today, too. Man, my phone's about to die.
There was a girl in the comments that was all over your painting. She was loving him. So she just heard everything. She'll probably be saying something to you here shortly.
Yeah, get your screenshot.
It's that girl right here that just spoke. He said he's sick with it left on her.
Yeah, make sure y'all following these individuals that I bring up on the panel to share with y'all, man. Make sure
Yeah, we're gonna
follow.
try. I can't. Every time I click on him, it just brings me up to give him something, so I'll have to wait.
So what I'm just going to interrupt for a little bit. I just want to stop showing because I just have to remember why I'm absolutely doing this for 20 years and what the path I was on, and that path, even whether you think it's manipulation, whatever I'm doing, this is what it is. That I want everybody to recognize that we run in a complete system. That once you know that, will take away that scariness, that, oh my God, I'm going to have nothing tomorrow. Oh my God, I'm going to this, and oh my God, I'm going to that. You know, this place is mathematically utopia. If you take 360, which is 360 degrees, and multiply it by 144, you will get 5184, which is the angles of the Giza pyramid. if you take,
That's interesting.
Did I just see that press time and that timetable time star? I know I
Can
just
you
saw
repeat
that.
what you just said? Because I really want to write that down. I'm sorry if that's.
no, I'm going to repeat it, but I'm just going to tell you Halloween on the 304th day of the year. DC Comics, Washington, D.C., the dog and the cat, the same corridor, red and blue, the power of the Christ. I'll repeat that, so I'm going to tell you now. 360 degrees to a circle.
Okay.
Multiply it by 1440 minutes in a day, or 144, and it equals to 5,184.
And that is the angles in the pyramid of what?
Of the Giza pyramid.
Okay.
There you go, right behind you, right there. Dang. You just walked past it. But anyway.
What is it?
The major star you just had above your head.
Which one?
That's why I'm running with. They say the geometric star. I'm gonna run with that. Okay, good. Anyway.
He's gonna flip it over. There you go. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
Your creativity. There you go.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to give Mr. Tacpans, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Cause when he go see people that he resonate with, he need him a little coin to be able to, you know what I'm saying, show some love too. I mean, don't y'all be afraid to gift him. You know what I'm saying?
So this piece, yeah.
This
So
this kind of guy that can answer your questions quickly.
this one over here.
9 and a 1 just in case.
Okay. So one thing about the cross and the oil, and thank you very much, and I didn't want to interrupt, but you said something that I wanted to speak. Yes, if you have any questions, and I don't want to forget about, so what we did is 360 times 144 is 5184, the angle of the pyramid. But you know what's ironic is that 5 and 1, two fire signs, okay, come in with Cancer and Scorpio, two water signs.
I'm a Scorpio.
Because 8 and 4 come together with 5 and 1. But it's not only that, it's 51 and Mars association. 84, okay, is Pluto association. They both have a similarity. 4 plus 4 is 8, 1 plus 4 is 5. They equate and resonate the exact same way. Did you know that within Pluto is the heart of creation of the ram's head? Look at the deck of cards, the number 9 on the deck of cards. Halloween, the 304th, 305th day of the year, electric company. You know that oil over there, right? They're changing the gearing around beneath the grounds. We have unlimited oil. There's unlimited, but you have to watch how you tap it, right? And when you tap it, right, we need memory on this planet, right? Doesn't everybody need memory? Terabytes. Everything is melting because of the Bitcoin system. The whole system, they can't move it over fast enough. We're using up, there's too much information out there. Either they share it, okay, or they pass it on into the system. We accept it, and they reduce they crunch the numbers so they don't have to use up so much area space. They need to cool down the system before the walls fall and we shift. This is what I see inside the system.
Wait. You talk the way you talk, but I hear the way that I hear. Okay,
so say how you heard it.
Basically, it's digitally. It's digitally. Like the little baby system can't actually keep up with the amount of computing that's necessary in order to calculate what the system is being asked to calculate. Like, for example, you've invented AI, and in order for AI to tell you any question that you ask it, like if you say, how long will it take me to get from here to my mom's house, and you're basically asking the AI to like use these coordinates in order to make that determination. But in order to truly do that, AI has to learn a bunch of things that actually only partially have anything to do with it learning what the actual answer to your question is. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Oh my
In order to
God.
answer your question, AI has to learn all these many different things in order just to answer simple questions about the one thing that you asked it.
So is it kind of like our world is on overload right now?
Based on what he was describing with the numbers, I would say yes.
So
Because I heard what he said about the numbers, but
Yeah.
it hit me different because I realized what's happening with the AI situation. You have when you create AI and you ask AI even a simple question like, okay, where's the closest library? It's got to find out where all the other libraries are first before it can tell you where the closest one is.
Yeah.
And there's no getting around it.
that's why they precise your GI location, and they keep asking more and more questions so it doesn't have to work as hard because you're working for it. Don't work for the machine.
Yeah. Make it work for you. If
Right.
anything.
And they tell you this when you walk into a casino. If the dealer makes a mistake, don't help the dealer and look like a good guy. They're going to take all that you got. So now when it comes to monkeys and blackjacks and black, the house is reserved to brown. Brown is representation of 9. Black is a representation of 11. It's an association on this calculator right here. Would you like to see it?
Yeah.
Go for it.
As we mentioned before, we need to put 1 into 2 to create 3. So if I start with this side over here, I must get to 3 before I can go anywhere. So therefore nothing's created here or everything lives here. One of the two. It's vice versa. Either I'm going to be 100% wrong or 100% right most of the time. So that's a part where we get to discuss and stuff. So when I hold this off here, okay, 1 and 8 equals to 9. 1 is a fire sign. 8 is Scorpio. It's an earth sign. 1 is a cardinal. 1 is a mutable. The association equals to 9 will equal to a mutable. Sorry, the other was a cardinal and a fixed. 2 and 7 is 9. 4 and 5 is 9. Now when I move the finger over and I eliminate the 1 is now replaced inside of 3. So now we get 2 and 9, 11. 3 and 8, 11. 5 and 6, 11. Now there's 111 on this side and 19 on this side, so we run the 365 days. 0.47. Why 0.47? It's supposed to be 0.25, right? It's 0.22 gets lost for the rotation of the clock. 0.22 is a representation of part 22s of the quarters in Jaguar, okay? The 4x22 equaling to 88 constellation, and 11 is for the pole. One of the parts of the rotation of the pole is going to fit here. When we have the dice cube, right? Is this easy to see, or let me flip it this way, plug this in. Hold on a second. We have a total of 9 areas here, right? We have a total of 9 areas here. We have 1 dot opposite of 6. We have 1 opposite of 6 equaling to 7. I can't use any other books but these. 80 pages. I like these pens, but I prefer the 1.6. I don't mind the 1.4. So what happens is I'm not going to... 1 and 6.
The zero represents the actual pendulum inside of the Rubik's Cube, huh?
If you want to look at 0 equals 6, I like your thinking. But 0 will equal 6 and 1 then, because the heart of Rubik's Cube is the top of Rubik's Cube is 9. The center is 8. And the bottom, right, like bottoms up, is 9. The total is going to be 26. But you're going to have one area space that's going to be controlling 6 other area spaces. So if we go back to the football again, we have the 6 points, okay, the touchdown, and we have the extra point. We came here in Genesis on day 6, and we rested on day 7. You want to check this out? All of these will double up. 1, 2, 4, 8. 8 and 8 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. 7 and 7 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. 5 and 5 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. We started over. We can look at it this way. 8 is the heart between 1, 2, 4 and 7, 5, 1. Now check this out. 7 and 4, 11. 1 and 1 is 2. 1 and 1 is 2. 8 and and then this one over here, we're just going to go 2 and 5 is 7, becomes 2, 7, 2. This one over here, the same thing. 2, double it up, 4. Double up 4 is 8. Double up 8 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. Double up 7 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. Double up 5 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. Double it up is 2. We stop. We put 7 in the heart of this. Memory comes in over here. 5, 1, 12 memory. 52 for Earth. 51 for Mars. So what is 1 and 2? When 1 meets 2, that's where creation comes in. You know what the transformation is between that? Hold on, this one's dirty. Transformation between 1 and 2. You want to see it?
Okay, yeah.
6 and 5, 11.
Because it's always mirroring something.
Right. It's a double mirror, right. So as you noticed, right, 3, 3, and then 1. 3, 3, and then 1. 3, look what happens with 3, 6, and 9. It just keeps repeating itself. Right? So what I'm showing you that with binary 1 and 2, okay, they will run a sequence of 6, and then 7th one it will repeat. This one over here, it shows 3, 6, 3. When does it qualify that it repeats? Well, 3, 6, 3, this repeated, this repeated, this repeated, this repeated, this repeated. So how many times will I go before I stop? Usually, there's different kinds of mathematical formations. When you're working in the half space world, you double nothing up. It becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It only repeats up at 10, giving me the authority to say that the half-life is when you're counting 1, 2s. It should be 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So if you're talking about 1, 3, and 5, do you know what letters come out?
A, C,
E,
A, C, E, ACE.
ACE is at the heart of everything.
F,
ACE is at the heart of everything also, 1, 3, and 5.
And that's why they give it the value of 1 and 11. In blackjack, it has the value of 1 and 11. They also sometimes give it the value of 13 in some games.
what?
Hold on. I'm trying to remember what game it is, but there's a game where it's
Casino War.
No. Well, okay, yeah. And they do that same thing with hearts. The game of hearts, the queen is worth 13. They do that with the game of hearts when you're trying to build up, in order to win the game. I get it.
So I like to look at the 6 days of Genesis. It was land, animal, and man. So just because they put the L in front of A-N-D, land, animal, and man, the
Right.
angle part for me is the protractor turning around this corner like I had up over here, right? I don't remember which way I had it up. So the protractor goes around and we have 3 markings. How do I make these three markings, were they perfect markings is what I want to know. And a protractor is not making a marking, okay, is not making a marking of 120 degrees. Is a protractor going to make that marking? How will that happen? The only way to do it is to square it in. So you square it in, and then you join these corners and cut it in half, right? So I don't want to get into that because I can't prove that point and show it. So what it is about 1, 3, and 5 is that on one side of 3 is 2, on the other side of 3 is 4. When you look at your calculator, one way is going by 2s, the other way is going by 4s. When we go by 4s, we interchange, we jump over to the next sign. If you are a fire sign at Aries, you'll be a fire sign at Leo, you'll be a fire sign at Sagittarius, and we'll start over at Aries again. This time, when you start over at Aries again, Aries, for the first time starting over, is number 13. Gemini becomes number 15, but it's number 14. I'm just trying to see which one. Anyways, the heart of the alphabet is between the 13th and the 14th letter. It becomes 13.5. The separation in a dice cube, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? There's a separation between 3 and 4. Why? A, B, C equals to 6. 1, 2, 3 equals to 6. When you add on the fourth one, A, B, C, D, okay, it equals to 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. I flip it over now. So this is what it is. The dice cube has an association of opposites of 1 and 6. 3 and 4, 2 and 5. Genesis and the day of rest, to the 5 work days and connecting weekends, to the Wednesday that connects 3 days and 1 day and 3 days to complete the 7 days a week. This is the lower world of what is 7, 7, 7. Let's just do that. Now, what is the upper world? Where's the rest of the numbers? Well, it's right over here. 9, 8, 7. What is 1 and 6 is the same thing as 9 and 4. 9 and 4 is 13, where 1 and 6 is 7. What is 7 and 6?
13.
Is like 3 and 4, 7. And then you have 8 and 5, 13, which is 2 and 5, 7. So what is below 21 is 39 above. This is the difference between below and above when connecting through the cube. So now what does this have to do with anything? This is the way the Toltec calendar or the Tzolk'in calendar and the Hab work. Now let's write down some numbers, any number. Or maybe we don't have to do it. Maybe we can have some others participate. Any number that is divided by 7, any number that is divided by 7, once you divide it by 7, after the decimal, it will equal 2 in and out of order of 1.142857. And you can tell me it right now. I'll just put my hands like this. I'll probably prepare my phone because I actually have a list. So I'm going to tell you right now. I just don't want to, strain too hard. I got to think sometimes. So what's number? Any two numbers. Put two numbers together.
28.
That's going to be a perfect 4. 15 is going to be 142857 when divided by 7.
Now some of the numbers be like so perfect that it's gonna go straight, like it's gonna go straight in.
Yeah. So
You
yeah,
got, you
yeah.
got challenging.
Right. So is there any other numbers?
Somebody said 18.
Okay, 18 is going to finish at the 14, so that's going to be the fourth. 571428. So if you divide 18 divided by 7. So when you look at this, all you saw right now, okay, all you actually just saw is I just told you 147285. In any of the divisions of 7, there will never be a 3 or a 6 or a 9 after the decimal.
You be messing them up with that 3, 6, and that 9 never being there. Like, y'all try to challenge him. Let's see if he right. Try to challenge him. Give him enough. Try to make the 3, the 6, or the 9 appear. He said it can't be done. So what's the other number? I think I see somebody try to do 11. They said 11.
So 11's going to be 428571. Sorry, did I? No. 571428.
What?
Let's do we did 8 from the last time. Let's do 19.
Okay, 19 less 2 equals 5. Okay, so 19 is 4. Yeah, so it's 714285.
It's just interesting how it's always either the same or similar. The variation of it is just like you said. It is very precise.
And they all add up to number 27.
That's even crazier that they all add up to 27. What do you think the true significance of the number 72 is? In reference to light and possibly separating light.
It's the highest multiple. 9 is not like 8. Okay, possibly it's what the birth that came in to create life within 8, right? You can't have a human soul within a heaven that doesn't exist, but the heaven still exists without the birth. So you have to come in with inside the heavens, supporting the heavens of your own. You are 1 and 8, other than the pancake that supports the breath or the energy or the swimming pool that you live in.
Wouldn't that trace back to Sophia?
Hey, teachers, leave those kids alone.
Like,
it's
somebody,
yeah, go ahead. I
like,
can't get it to charge.
Isn't that how many versions you were supposed to get if you was a kamikaze soldier? Right. You're supposed to get like 72 versions. They find these numbers like in a lot of the ancient texts. So I'm sure there's got to be some significance.
So one of the things is Egypt is 57772, which tells me that it was a house of transformation.
Exactly.
You also started with EG, which is a transformation. It represents the moon and the sun. Where was I? There was, yes, these bricks over here where they were building the bricks of Moses, that when you actually do it on paper equally, because I need to do everything perfect before I let it tell me this hidden story, is you create the H and the I and the 5 and the 2. The H and the I are the 9 and the 8. There's a game of Baccarat that the 9 and the 8 are naturals, right? And in that game, when it counts 0, it counts 0. They don't count it up to a single digit, which gives me a new understanding of where 0 is relative. Like after the 10 Jack Queen King, after the Jack Queen King, they really shouldn't be within the cards. Those are just how we are connected to the system. the 8 and 210, the 7 and 310, the 6 and 410, passing all through what is 5, 5, 5, and 5.
You said after the 10, Jack, Queen, Jack, King, Queen shouldn't be there, right?
Well, they're cards of expression of actually what's going on in association. Okay, what happens? You join the house, like I'm standing here, right? But I am now occupying an area space that was null and void, that still had the occupancy of the aether that I breathe. But now it's passing through me. I'm giving this area space of value by my breath. I'm reading the word. If I was to create this game, right, and I was the creator, the father creator, I would be within inside of everybody's breath, so I can recreate my house. Who volunteers? So just a quick thing here, right? This here, over here, is all about what happened in 2020, but I did this in 2015. I said to the sale representative, do you know if it causes it or is it the cure? And I said at the end of the point, where the spade comes in, the spade is noted to be what is, you know what I'm saying? And when you look at it, there's a T at the end, which shows a split. The split in the T shows where the J joins in. The T is the plateau between the split. And that's where your A is going to possibly join in. This is the way I'm associating what the heart is. And the heart is showing you two parts in one, that the heart is really just this, which if you look at it, it's two teardrops. So number 72, so here it is. There's 99 numbers. I'm not going to go to 100. If I went to 100, it'll be $1. It'll take up 3 area spaces. So leaving it at 99 cents and less is where Earth comes in. On your keyboard, the number 3 on the keyboard has the pound key on it. And the pound key is obviously a 3x3. It's the tic-tac-toe. On the 4 key, it's the $sign. Earth is the tic-tac-toe, and the $sign goes over to Mars. So where was I with this? I don't want to lose myself. Help me. I lost my complete space.
The 72.
Right, okay. So what it is there's singularity, okay, of sets of numbers, and there's duplicates of numbers. And here's the way it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They happen alone by themselves once. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. They happen, there's no reversal of them. They happen once. 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88 constellations, and 99 happen once. They're not reversible either. Now the reversibles, okay, is, and we can reverse 10, but I'm not going to get there right now. Now the reversibles, there are 36 reversible numbers, or double numbers. So 36 times 2 equals to 72. It'd be like 2112, 3113, 4114. But it's not just 2112. Do you know what is 2112? The separation between those two is 0.5. Between 1 and 2, there's only one number. Between 1 and 3, between 1 and 2 is a half a number. Between 1 and 3 is a whole number. So when you're talking about 13 or 31, that's where we get something that is whole. When we're talking about 12 or 21, we're talking about a separation of only a half. The 12, bat mitzvah. The 13, bar mitzvah. Woman, man. But you know what's funny? Lately I've been having a hard time with Batman. I really am. The reason for that is because the woman in Hebrew has a bat mitzvah representing the woman, and yet Batman is supposed to represent a man. So how does that work out? Anyways, with that said, there are 72 duplicate numbers and there are 27 singularity. 2772. 3 sets of 9.
It. That's it. And this is how. Have you heard that explanation in order that tells you who each number is and what force they represent? The actual live forces that each number represents. Have you ever heard that before?
I'd like to hear it again. I've heard some of it, but if you're going to put it on, I mean, I just love it because until it's installed in my head, the algorithm, what everybody thinks is very important, whether it's true or not true. Okay, if it's a story that has made it out there, then what is the reason for them or for it to be shared with us? So if we get opposition to us, it's even greater so that we can study the difference and take no part.
Right. So it was like how I'm gonna listen to it again because I want to make sure that I get it all the way right when I tell you how it exactly goes. But it speaks of 9 being the master. That's when I read, like, the first time I heard it, it made me understand why, like, I didn't like math. I didn't like math growing up because I always used to be like, math is retarded. It doesn't explain itself. But then I got to a point to where I started telling people, I was like, there is no higher number than 9. There's only 9 numbers in existence. And we actually use, we use those 9 numbers to make other numbers. But there actually is only 9 of them. And there is no number that's actually higher than 9. And so when I heard in the literature that 9 is the master, but where I heard this from, it doesn't even use the number 1. It doesn't start. It leaves 1 in a situation of its own, and it starts at 2. It says 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and that these were connected to different entities that actually was the force behind the existence of those numbers.
Right.
Here is your 2 and
Go ahead.
here's your 2 and 7. There's 1 and 9 connect, and 3, 1, 3, where the one area is only the heart or the operator's separation or bringing together these two sides. It's either this way or this way. But the only way to know is when this is on the side. Not what's up. What's up is only going to tell one of 2 stories. It's going to tell all the stories, sorry, but this is what I want to know, which way that's pointing. So when I know where it's pointing there, and I put this in, right, I know, hold on a second, I know it's pointing to 7 and 3, so that's the situation. If I did it the other way, the situation would be 1 and 9, the 4 would be up, the 3 would be down, we'd be talking about the pole corridor. Now check the corridor out. Remember we spoke about 7 and 13?
All right.
Well, check what's in between. 1 and 8, 9, 2 and 7, 9, 3 and 6, 9 is what made the 7 and the 13 possible. The 8 and 1, 9, the 7, what is that?
3.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to see what was going on. Okay, so yes, okay, that wasn't the reason for this situation, but I'm going to show it to you anyways. That all the faces of this calculator, okay, fill in with 9. In order to make 9, I need 1 and 8 equals to 9. And that is going to show up right here, where there's 1 dot center to 8 around it, represented by this one over here. Then you're going to see the 2. So I'm going to take up either these 2 or these 2. There's going to be 7 left over. That's where the 7 and 2 come in. And then if I show you the 3 and 6, and it's all showed right here. Now when you do that, look what happens. Hold on a second, let's see. When you have 1 and 6, 7, you have 8 and 3, 11. So if I show you this, 1 and 6, See that empty space there? In between? There's 3.
Yeah.
Everything that goes around, there's 8 that go around. 8 and 3, 11.
Okay, yeah.
8 and 3, 11. 7 and 4, 11. 6 and 5, 11 is equal to 7. Is equal to 3 and 4, 7. 2 and 5, 7. 1 and 6, 7. The master numbers hidden in the cube. Who would have known?
Right.
When it sits like this, it's 22 with 11 on the pole. There's your master builders. If you want to relate anything to...
With two shapes, with just two shapes alone, they done mastered all numbers in existence with just two shapes.
That's serious. That's extremely serious.
With two numbers.
With
two shapes, I mean.
Yeah, so this here, I mean, it's right. We have 3 sides to this. See the 3, and then you have 3 on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens if I just turn it around like this, right? And you look at it now. What do you see?
It's an additional side. It's a hidden. There's a hidden side.
Which side are you talking about?
The inside.
See the 3 now in this position?
Right.
And I can spin it like that, and you still see the 3. But if I only spin it one way, it's a 4.
Right. So it's the 45-degree angle, so 7, and the knot.
Well, this one would be the 45-degree angle, not this one.
Right.
This is how we join the 2 time networks together. The matrix matches by doing this. 3 times 120, 3 times 20 minutes. 4 times 90, 4 times 15 minutes. We join the 2 apparatuses together, Earth and Mars, 2 moons and 1 moon, in order for association. Can anybody figure out where the 1 moon is? It's the one in the center joined to all the other moons. That's the Earth moon. The Earth moon joins everything to its network.
Would you say that that's why the moon, although it does not appear to move, it does wax and wane? Do you feel like that's the explanation of the waxing and waning of the moon?
Okay, let me, I have to spell it. I don't talk for myself, sorry. I'd rather make a mistake mathematically.
Yeah, but I like it. I like it.
So we.
Thank y'all for joining. Tap the screen, y'all.
So we're waxing and waning mean we're tilting, right? Are we tilting? Okay, so the tilt itself shows itself right here. So when we're going, now the question is, are we sitting this, according to how they changed Saturn square, right? Which means what they did with Saturn square is they repositioned all the numbers. Instead of the numbers being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the numbers become 4, 9, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 1, 6. So everybody got that? I just know because I remembered it.
Okay.
Saturn square, you can even look it up. Saturn square numbers. Okay, it won't look like this because I'm all backwards here, but it will be what is let's, you know what I'm saying? I'd have to, hold on. Usually they show it the backwards way. God, I got to bring my phone, my calculator, my keyboard, a set of dice, the backgammon game. I got to remember hockey, football, the trials and tribulation down in Las Vegas by Herbert Hoover, Hoover Dam, number 88 for the constellations. Holy, so don't forget your alphabets, and We live in a soup. I jumped out of a plane. We live in a soup. I floated.
Yeah.
I absolutely floated. I am petrified of heights, and I didn't care. I didn't
You
care.
was telling me about that one day. You was telling me about the whole soup experience that you felt jumping out of that plane.
Oh man, it was like soup, man. We are living with we are just amazing. Hey, without that water, with that water that connects everything inside of us, that electric that keeps us going. We're like whoever we are, it's all that breath and everything that surrounds us. I mean, I already know.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. Let me have some of that. Let me have some of that. That's right.
So 20 years ago, I had no idea what was going on. I lost complete touch between my hands and the steering wheel. I saw my hands on the wheel and I didn't feel the wheel at all. Zero. I had to pull over on the side of the road and and I wanted my freedom. I wanted to continue driving, but because I know the basic law and the this, if I looked wobbly and that, and also I was in a little support of the teacher.
Right.
Amateur and professional. Am in French is for soul. The am without the e is what is that spirit connection within the soul. It has an English spelling to what ends up to what English is spirit is French is in soul, but it's not the same word. So I'm not sure why they do that. Also, the word spirit for me always had to do with the one-eyed king because spirit is pirate. And they change it in French for the word esprit. So they begin with es in where normally if you have more than something, okay, it'll end the word with an s or an es. So it's
Right.
talking to me to tell me that you are beginning with less than and only with the supplement that I give you to be more than who you are, I must add the es to who you are. And the P part is the pi part is what's connecting to the three gateways, the Trinity.
Yeah. Like the word ish, like adding the word ish. I like adding ish to something or it to something. You know, you're only similar if you're an ish or an it. Like if you're a Malachite or a Cushite, you're not you're not the original thing. You're something like it.
You are birthed within the divided house, putting the ite in place of the ate. Ate being eight, right? Eight is what's
Right.
divided or joined or bridged together. The birth is what brings the breath upon you to create what is the energy within the A house or the aleph. You bring the ite, you bring the e into life. You become the gateway, the passage. You are the I. You know, have you ever done this before?
See,
If
so they did that on purpose when they created the freaking Pope and stuff like that or whatever, and made that the so-called doorway. Like
it's a
you gotta
bridge.
get through that. Yeah.
There it is. I just did it. It's the bridge. This is the cross.
Yeah. 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 A cross is a bridge too because a river crossing is a sort of bridge. You need shallow places in the river where you can cross. Not all rivers are made like that, but there's in most rivers there is a shallow place where you can cross, and people even make shallow places in rivers that don't. Because you need a place where people was like, if you need to take your cows or your wildebeest or whatever, if you're taking them to migrate, or if you're taking them because like you're trying to get them from one side of your prairie to another side of your prairie, and you got to cross a river, you got to take them through the shallow part.
So, shallow, deep, shallow, shallow, Sam, deep. Oh, that's real deep. That's sweet. That's deep. 2 letters adjoining the 2 letters of the soul of the moons of Mars. Why does Mars bring so much soul? Black equals to number 29. Mars, the first association with communication comes from number 29. The last part of the final communication of 9/11 comes from 65, which is going to be the white wolf or the white horse, which is going to be part of 11/11 and the final connection between the cubes. The birth brings on the soul. Electric company, okay, and waterworks are on number 13 when starting from go. When you start from go, right, this is the 13th one way, it's the 13th the other way. If I go this way and all the way around, it becomes the 29th. If I go this way all the way around, this one becomes the 29th. What is 13 and 29? The 13 parts of the names of the Maya. The 29 is the beginning of the next 28-day cycle. That's what it is. They are also...
That's dope. Wait, 13 and 29 is the first and second cycle?
7 is also the beginning of the next cycle. We are inside of 999,999. We are the 1 in a million, that if I add the 1 to the million, you'll have another comma and you'll put 1 million. The 999,999 divided by 7 is the same thing as 22 divided by 7. It will equal 142,857. This is all to do with...
Is that half a pi?
It is pi.
Oh, crap.
Whatever they did to create their version of pi, I don't know. But pi is part of the heartbeat. It's the heartbeat in the transition between 3 and 4. It's the same corridor. Hockey, hockey has 3 periods. Baseball has 4 quarters. Basketball has 12 minutes. 1.25 times 12 equals to 15. 12 inches for the ruler. Why are we working with 15? 5 times 5 times 5 equals 1.25 when crossing over the star. When crossing over the star, or over here, connecting 1 and 9, 3 and 7, 4 and 6, we cross through that, creating 30. I'm not going to touch, there are 4 connections, but that's a short circuit. There are 4 connections, yes, but that's a short circuit. You can only connect 3 of 4 different times, equaling to 12. Equaling to the 12 zodiac signs.
Wait. Say that again. There's only 4. There's 4, but that creates a short circuit.
Right. The motherboard
4 times.
The motherboard is 8 with 1 location to the center for the power source. Right? So what it is with 8 is there's only 4 connections. Connect this one and this one too, these 2, these 2, and these 2. Connect 1 and 9, connect 3 and 7, connect 4 and 6, connect 8 and 2, short circuit. Those are the 4 connections. You can connect 7, 3, 4, 6, 9, 1. You can connect 917382. I left out 4 and 6. I can connect 824691. I left out 7 and 3. I connect 7 and 3, 6482. I left out 1 and 9. Those are the 4 connections. The other one is the backboard of a
So no matter how you flip it around, there's only 4 connections, and it leaves a short circuit.
If you can, it only connects the short circuit that if you connect them all at once.
I see. Yeah.
It short circuits if you connect them all at once.
And one of the rules.
That to me strikes me very seriously, bro. It makes me feel like that's why you have to have life cycles, because you can't run it all at the same time.
Yeah, that's facts. Yeah.
It's a 3-day, 1-day cycle, 72 hours. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3 equals to 6 plus 4 equals to 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. Everything flips over on the next day. If you don't sleep by the 4th day, you don't meet the hump day. It's a 3-1-3-day week. The 7 days, the three cycles of 7. The 6 days of coming here with the 1 day of rest. Which is, we are the 1.166666. That's who we are. There is no 7th day. We're the carrier, okay, of the breath. We make up the God zone because we breathe it in with every moment.
We talked about this the last time, bro. The 7th day sorta doesn't exist because the 7th day is only observation. It's the day when God so-called sat back and looked at everything and checked everything out. If you want to hear this another way, ladies and gentlemen, trust you in the right spot. It took 6 days. It took 6 days to create whatever was created, and on the 7th day is when it all played out.
You're resting on the 7th day.
Yeah, the
You're
Shabbat
observing.
you know,
actually
On the 7th day, you literally are going back from day 1, and you're watching day 1 and everything that was done play out to see the manifestation of it. The 7th day doesn't actually exist. You don't do anything on a day of rest. You just observe.
Yeah.
So what number would we give the day of rest?
9.
0, completion.
Can we say that the word rest
I would say
is
9, because 9 is the number of born, isn't it?
Of who?
I don't know what word to use, but am I being biased? Because in the English language I can use rest, but I mean do we have to use the word rest? Can we change it for I stay or stand?
Yes, that's actually a more accurate illustration of what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that better than rest because that doesn't exactly sum it up.
Because all right, you run into the conundrum of the fact that nothing is a state of existence. Something is still happening even during the state of nothingness.
Yeah.
You can't just assume that nothing means still or potential. No, even in a state of nothingness, there's kinetic energy. There's kinetic energy present, even in a state of nothingness.
I stand on 17.
1 and 7.
Q is the 17th letter.
Yeah.
And 1 and 8 is 1 and 7 is 8, which is the infinity symbol.
How about if I tell you that the Q and the Z are the 17th and 26th letter, 1 and 7, 8, 2 and 6, 8. 88 constellations. This one used to be on the 7 key of the phone, and this one was on the 9 key on the phone, but they moved them both over. They removed this letter and this letter.
And you were saying you wondered why they did that.
Representing, yeah, because control is by the constellations by number 1. When you look when you look at this, right, that's not really accurate. That's not accurate. It should be more or of something like this.
Thanks.
That's the center.
That's how the board of the game looked when I was little.
This is where the 9 is.
Just like that. Creepy.
It's not creepy. It just means what it
No,
means
to me,
is
to
all
me.
games were created to help you remember something. Even
Has
the
to
rubber
be.
ball game. Even the rubber ball game. It was created to help you remember something.
Yeah, but that looks just like the board. Seriously, it's. I say creepy because to me
It's helping you remember.
Mars is over here. Earth is over here. Mars is running the border lines. The trains run all out of Earth. Anything to do with Harry Potter for anybody?
I'll go back and see them movies again. I didn't pay attention.
How am I
watching it? You know.
So does any?
What you about to ask? What you about to ask?
Yes. So can anybody understand where this is from? Did I mention? Whoop, not that. I didn't want to show you that how perfect 8 is, but we can do that after. So, this is Monopoly. This is a game of Monopoly. It's just multiple boards.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
So just like Rubik's Cube, right? The 9 faces of Rubik's Cube, we can do the same thing with any game, right? So we can take a different perspective. So if I took one game of Monopoly and I started putting games all the way around Monopoly, right? I'd have one, actually, the design actually is this. That's this.
Okay.
Now, the game of Monopoly is this. This is the game of Monopoly. See the center over here?
Right.
I expand it all the way out to the corners, okay, and I stop on the 7th line. Why do I stop on the 7th line? Does anybody know?
I don't know. 7-13. Right now I'm thinking 7-13 and what, 22?
The Monopoly board is set.
27?
26, I think, or something like that. You're right. Okay.
Something like that. What is it, Ty?
The Monopoly board trains are all sitting on number 7. All the trains are on 7.
Yeah,
So
like you showed us in that one thing.
7, 14, 21, and 28.
All the corners, from
Are 7.
corner to corner, it's 13.
Oh, what?
From corner to corner, it's 13.
13, 27, and something else, right?
So does it remind you of the Mayan yet? The 7 and the 13 again?
Right.
Yeah, that's where it's taking me back to.
So what it's doing is,
because every time you spin the 7, you'll still be in the same. You'll recreate the same thing. Wow. Okay, so that's why we're living in a loop, because it's the easiest way. It's the easiest way. Like, especially if you had created this place with mathematics, it's the easiest way to create a sort of like a platform for existence. Oh,
It kind of reminds me of computer and code. That's exactly what it reminds me of. I mean,
it's like a code that's running in order to create the days. Because I be saying like, okay, if only 7 days were created, that explains why we have to loop every 7 days. Also, the moon is connected to the every 7-day cycles, like a 7, a 13, and a 22, something like that, or whatever, and then into a 28, or even if it's 7, 21, and 28, or whatever, that's connected to the women. Like, their bodies are affected by that same looping cycle every 7 days.
Yeah, that's why your cycle is a total of 28 days.
Exactly 28 days, yeah.
But what I'm saying is, looking at it like
Every
an
7 days
operating,
we get a new hormone or a new testosterone or a new something. Every 7 days.
and looking at it like an operating system. Like, I think
Yeah.
I'm able to see based off how TAC show things. Like, it's a whole operating system.
So, you know, the Matrix was based off of this, like entirely based off of this.
Right.
Like how we're put together.
Found supercomputers. They found supercomputers, you guys. They found supercomputers. There's been supercomputers found in a couple of different places. Also, IBM, not just the company. I've heard before that that's the name of a computer. Like, and
International Business Machine.
There's an ancient computer that was called IBM. This is it. Oh my God! It's in somebody's hieroglyphs. It shows an ancient computer. It shows it. Also, when you study ancient artifacts, and you start to discover all of the actual devices that they used to tell time, like the way a Rolex is made. That wasn't the first timekeeping device that like spent on some kind of you know what I mean, some kind of wheel system. And then I always think about the sundial. It would not work. Listen, the sundial wouldn't work if the sun was not local. The sun is local. It's not outside of this place. The sun is inside of this place, and the sundial kind of proves that the sun is in here with us. Because it won't work if the sun is outside of this place. You'd only be able to tell time in the daytime. You lose track of time at night.
Okay, so how can we prove something with this information? Okay, first of all, let me tell you something. Do you know that within numbers I can prove your point, whether it's right or wrong? I can show you exactly something that you will say, okay, now I see.
Okay, show me. Give me an example.
17, 18, and 19 in words are separate from other words. Words and numbers separate as so. They separate between 3 and 4 for the reason of the cube, that when you reach the fourth side D, it flips the numbers over again and it starts again. Where can I see this? Right over here. 1, 2, 3. The fourth one goes back to the same row. Over
Right.
here. 1, 2, 3, 4 equals to 10. But in actuality, then you start again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, always doubling up on the one you're at. The one mistake some people make in Monopoly or in judgment is that when you are playing Monopoly, okay, I mentioned before that Waterworks and Electric Company were 13. But that's what it is for the game that was created. But when you play the game, it's 12 away from go, because the avatar you use starts with where I am.
Right. That's why in religion it is the I am. You can only be the I am. You can only stand in the position of the I am. That's the only place you can stand.
Undivided you are is what is I am, and I am like AM is what is AI. It is the two sides of what is A, the left and the right, the delta angles between the dog leg and between the hook, right? You stand undivided. You are impartial to the creation of who you are. The I lands within the heavens. You are the heart of it all. You are the Sagittarius. Your connection is through what is Capricorn, 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6, through what is the duplication of what is A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4 equals to 10, complemented by I9, H8, 7, G3, in which is an air sign. Your first connection, okay, are the two air signs, Gemini and Libra. That's your first connection, and in the advancement, once A and B come together, 1 over to 5, 2 fire signs. 2 over to 6, 2 earth signs. Then 3 over to 7, you have 2 air signs, and it's the first match of 10. Your 2 air signs are your 7 and 3. But not only there, the Hebrews and the Greeks did the same thing when they went to Gimel and Gamma. Have we been reduced to nothing?
Right.
And the association of everything? I'm only losing my hair because of one. I only have one thing in my mind for me losing my hair. And you know what I'm blaming it on?
What, dude? What?
And I feel like crying, okay? So don't mind me.
You probably already thought to yourself you didn't need it.
I had to beat off billions and billions of little guys running for the same egg to become who I am today.
You sitting there wasting the whole electrolytes, bro. You drink some Gatorade, my friend.
Now, can you look at it through another standpoint?
So I
was
want
nice.
to say something. I do want to say something. So in the studies that I've been doing through the books of the Bible, I know this sounds crazy, but Jesus was never teaching what the Bible is teaching. He was teaching you that you are your own God. You are your temple. You are everything, and what you perceive is what it is. Like God was trying to, or Jesus was not trying to teach you what they're trying to teach you in the Bible. If you go back,
Jesus did not have a Bible that he was walking around with, preaching from that sucker.
He was going to mention the same thing. He was never
there was no
reading a
such
Bible.
thing as a Bible when Jesus.
And he didn't even become who he was until he was 30. So in those 30 years, he was traveling. It is a known fact he was traveling.
I like the fact
like
that
Iran, Iraq, Egypt, everywhere.
I like the fact that there was whole arguments about whether or not people should be teaching that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, long before anybody made a Bible, people was literally having whole councils and whole meetings and arguments even. And some battles over whether or not it would be righteous or not, or divine to teach this stuff. So, it's just weird. And beyond that, I look at all of that as hidden sciences and principles within the literature that they left.
Yeah, no, absolutely, you're not wrong about that.
That's why numerology, astrology, and the zodiac are all the same thing. Like they're completely perfect because your one has to be added to 2 to make 3. Your 1 is masculine energy. Your 2 is feminine energy. Your 3 is your creation. Your 4 is law and order. And you end up at 9, which is completion.
I be counting like this, Lux. I be like 1, and then 2 is just a pair of 1s.
Right.
Now 3 is a real number. But I don't look at 2 as a real number. I look at 2 as a pair of 1s. But 3 is a real number because if you multiply 1 times 1, it's not actually 1. Because you've lost some value if you say 1 times 1 is 1. You lose value. If you actually multiply something 1 times any number, even 1, that you shouldn't lose any value.
You increase in the amount.
Right.
So even if you say
Howard Terrence, is that his name?
Yeah, Terrence Howard. He said something similar, but I still think that his explanation. I think the problem is his explanation. It doesn't show where he got the value from.
Yeah, it doesn't. You're right.
Understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean, Tack.
I will hide nothing. If they take me out, everybody will know what I know. I hide nothing. 0. No patents, no nothing. Let's go.
Yeah. Because you gotta explain where you got the value from, or like for example, who he's questioning. I feel like he deserves to ask that question. But in his own explanation, he didn't provide where he got the value from. You gotta explain where the value comes from. So, like, I think a better explanation is what you just said with AI. Even if you try to say artificial intelligence, just stop it at AI. A and I means the exact same thing. I is the flip side of the coin to the A. The A is a representation of sort of like the creator, and the I is a representation of the new creation, but it still represents the creator as well, because the creation is within the creator is within the creation. So when you say AI, just like he said earlier, it's a representation of like what we were saying about the ish thing. You come from somewhere. If you British, you come from the original Brits. If you're an Amorite, you come from the original what were they called? The I forget the actual name of them before it was Amorites.
Why do you say original Brits?
Because you have Britons, and you have British. You have Britain, and then you have the British, and those are two different groups of people.
Okay, because the word itself, just to me, you want to know what my first reflection is? Okay. Oh my God. You know the water that you have to filter?
Yeah, the Britannia. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so right away that's a clear association. So what got filtered out here that we're not understanding?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I also have them representing a Kimmel bread right on my floor a long time ago. They're holding. They're great. Did you know that Great Britain and Mars are tangled up together as one?
You know what? That's interesting. Hold up. It's gonna be comical, but remember this: the freaking Martian, the freaking Martian from Looney Tunes, the Martian. He had a British accent, bro.
He did.
The
Marvin,
freaking
the
Martian.
Martian.
Yeah, Marvin the Martian. He had a freaking British accent, bro. That's the first thing that came to my head.
Yeah, he did.
He sounded like he was straight out of Great Britain, bro. Marvin the dang on Martian. And it's
he had
funny
a weird
because
voice, but it was definitely not English.
And it's funny because Bugs Bunny and his whole setting, his whole setup, it takes place in America. Bugs Bunny is not a British character or an African character. He's an American bunny. So his whole Elmer Fudd is an American that was chasing down this rabbit. So for the Martian to show up in America, that says something as well. Then he shows up with his British accent. He's always trying to basically take control. Synchronicities are important, ladies and gentlemen.
So, agree, disagree, doesn't really matter, but for me, for fun and games, communication, I get the rabbit ears, I get the trucks, I got CB codes, I got BC. Roadrunner, I see speed. I'm starting to think that Bugs Bunny communication replaced Roadrunner on the highway, and the coyote couldn't catch him. So I'm thinking that it must have been high-speed communication between Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner, and there must have been 72 of them. Why were there 72? Because those ran with all duplications and didn't run with singularity as the numbers run. I follow what the numbers do. At 13, I get a teen. At 4th is the first time I say TH. If I'm going to get 17, the thing about 17 is there are 17 numbers between 4 and 20 that end in their expression as 4th with the TH to the 20th. There are 17 numbers. Otherwise, it's 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Gold, silver, and bronze.
There are 17 numbers that have the TH in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Teachers, leave those kids alone.
And then after the 20th, It is a ST. You're right. That this the 21st, and then the 22nd with an ND, 23rd RD, and you don't get it again until you hit a fourth. You got to hit a fourth again before you hit the TH again. 24th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and it does it again.
Oh, keep doing it. Sounds good. No, no, do it. You're vibrating, man. Vibrate us. Keep going.
For the 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st.
Ah, hold on a second. He had an IETH. He had a 20 IETH. He had a 40 TEIETH. So we added in every time we got. Nice. You see? There's the story right there in front of us. All we have to do is notice what's going on.
Wow. Wow, y'all.
This is groundbreaking, yo.
So, because of the fact that you can count patterns, when you see patterns emerge, you're able to count those as well, and that's going to give you another like broader outlook to what you're actually looking at.
So THC, right? The T letter, you can tee off in golf. You can tee off on someone as an idiom. The T letter next to an H, if you say H or T or TH, you can just see the word. Can you see the word before I write it?
Tee it off.
Teacher.
Yeah.
Teacher. I don't know why
I
they...
was thinking that in my head, and I did not want to say it aloud.
I need to see if I can flip my camera around. I don't know why they don't let me.
That's amazing. Like, first of all, that's amazing. Y'all, everybody tap my box. Tap my box, y'all. Get some hard stuff for me. Tap my box, y'all. Get some hard stuff for Mr. Tack. You know what I'm saying?
Can you? Okay, I'm going to do that.
Some gifts.
Let me do this upside down. I'll tell you one thing, you know, somebody once said, what do I get you? And I said, this is what I would take. Check this out. A case of these.
Yeah.
But only the 80 pages. I don't like the other ones.
That's right.
I don't want the other ones. Don't send them. I'd rather get my own. Because I can't think with the other ones. 200 pages, I never get to the end. And you know what's funny about this? It represents bronze.
Okay.
Bronze is 80. Okay. It also goes for the ounce, which represents 11. When you say 11, the reverse of 11 is 7. Does anybody know why?
I don't know, but that's okay.
Right?
It's the 1 and the 6. Oh, it's the 1 and the 6. It's the 1 and the 6, and it's the 5 and the 6.
So this is 18 and this is 18. So 5 and 2 equals to 7, and 7 and 4 equals to 11.
They're the reverse.
To 6 and 1 equals to 7. To 3 and 8 equals to 11. There's no magic in the master numbers. Equal to 7, to 4 and 7 equals to 11. I don't remember which one I didn't do. And 6 and 5 equals to 11.
8 and 3. You did 8 and 3.
I did 8 and 3.
I got a question about that, by the way. I'm just getting in, my bad, but let me know when I can ask a question about 11. My bro, yes, sir. Peace to you. Blessings to you.
Go ahead, ask your question, bro. Throw it in there.
Well, it's gonna sound funny. It's about a girl.
It don't matter how it sounds. If it's on topic, throw it on in there.
No, it's on topic. I had a spiritual connection with this girl, and this is what I'm saying. This number used to just come to me at random, which equals 11, right? It's a certain particular number, but all this stuff was adding up to 11. So it's a long story, but it's this girl, right? I did our numbers, like the birthday book, birthday, and the name. All our numbers equal 11. What you think about that? You think that's a soul connection? I'm trying to shake her. You know, I try to have some game.
Give Tac the numbers that you're talking about.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. This is the numbers that I first started seeing. 317. But then down the line, it came to me differently, like a 4 and a 7. Everything equal this big 11. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Now, what's the significance of those numbers? Are they birthdays or whatever? Like what's the
like birthday? Yeah, so I would see 317 everywhere, and then I broke it down to 4 and 7. Like my digits is like a 4, her digits is like the 7. My name is a 5, her name is a 6. Number like the life path number, all that stuff. What's this thing called? I forgot the other thing. It's called subconscious self. It's numerology. It's in the app. But yeah, so that 11, it gotta mean something. What is
did you do the numerology on your own name?
Yeah, yep. I'm a life path number 9.
I want to know what I am. What's your birthday?
Yeah, go ahead, host. My bad.
I'm gonna see how he work out those numbers.
I think he's writing his own stuff.
So what you want to do, Miss Nova, is you want to add all your birth date. You want to add it up digit by digit and see what digit you get at the end of that. I believe that's the way technically you get your life path number.
Give me the numbers and I can do it in my head.
It's 41487.
Okay, does anybody want to see or know what happened? So what is the real question here? Because number one, okay, number one.
How that 11 is correspond is I think what he's trying to find out is why he's had so many synchronicities with this number 11.
Okay, I'm going to explain a lot of things. Okay, once you're awake and you start asking that question, you have to start looking at yourself. Right? You've put yourself under judgment.
Oh.
Why have you done that? Why are you asking extra questions yourself? You don't have enough to think about?
Right, that's D-Money. He's saying that's the D-Money.
So it's all of us. Every time you notice something, it's a reflection because you don't have the answer. Today you either look it up, you're not going to disregard it, otherwise you wouldn't have said it.
Yep. So you gotta just let it speak to you through your intuition. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, there's a huge intuition bridge. So this TH, okay, the teacher, or the THC, the 420, what happens in the French, what they say, when you get to 80, they say 420. Isn't it ironic that we start at 4th and we go all the way to 20th, and that's where the 17 numbers, where the T and the H come in to equal to 28, the days of the cycle, which doesn't only be created that way, but it's 4 by 7 equals to 28, and 4 plus 7 equals to 11 minus 28 equals to your 17Q. Back to the 17 numbers where we began from. And remember, this is all going to revert back to the cycle stone of why the Mayan run their Sanskrit at 7 and 13 name days. Now pick a number, pick a number, pick a number, pick a number. Hold on a second, pick any number above 13.
D-Money, you pick the number, bro. Pick the number.
9.
Okay, just 1 second before we start. I just want to write 2 things down.
Hey, host, I got a question for you to answer later. What you think about the Trinity and 369? Because I've been in religious lives. The Trinity is 3, but if you 3 times 3, you got 369.
You should have been in here a little longer, bro. We done covered a lot of information about those numbers and the significance of those numbers. You know what I'm saying? You should have been here earlier when we discussed how 9 is the master. You should have been here for that one. But trust me, a lot of times we end up doubling back over certain information. So just keep that question in your head.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
So I'm just going to go back just to this one piece of what I perceive, and I could be wrong in all parts. That, hold on a second. What did the gentleman say? Just revert back to what that it was about 3, right? So when you do A, B,
C. Yeah, we picked 9. My bad. I picked 9, but I asked him a side question about 3 times 3, which is 369. But yeah, my bad. But
okay, it's good. So this is what I perceive. First of all, this cube has 9 per side. It has 6 sides. It's a 3 by 3, 3 plus 3. And what 3 and 3 is it creates what is 6 and 9, which is actually saying happy birthday.
That I don't believe that, bro. This is not saying happy birthday, bro. It's not saying happy birthday. Show me.
Okay, check this out. Your birth is 9 months.
Okay.
That's good so far? So far, so good?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right here. You see those 3 here? You remember I just put it that way?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know how many months it takes for your birthday?
It actually only takes 9, but they say it's 12 once you come out.
No, let's do what we're doing on the earth so we have no discussion.
Okay.
Okay, so now it's 9 for your birth, right? And you need to go all the way around the year for 360, right? So you go 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 36. We went around 360 degrees, or to count it in short, we went around 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, and that's the 12 months of your birthday going all around you. Happy birthday.
369 says happy freaking birthday.
Any number divided by 7 will never have a 3, 6, and 9 after the decimal. Now with number 13, and why do we stop at 13 and why not 14? 14 is another 7, and 13 ends the first half of the alphabet and splits the half calendar in half. 260 days.
365 divided by 13.
260 divided by 13 equals to 20. The first part of the alphabet is a situation associated by 91, which equals to 7 by 13 equals to 91 by 4 equals to 364. This is where the third... Go ahead.
It just makes sense because it's the 300, and the reason, part of the reason they do 365 days, because it's actually like 364 days and a few odd hours and minutes.
Isn't it, I am so blessed. Thank you for letting me be here. I've been so bottled up for so many years. I had no idea where I was going 20 years ago when this all started. I had no idea what was going on. When I said the teacher in 420, I didn't say it for no reason at all. When you get to number 80, you will say 420 in French. The French say 80 is 420. 420 is also noted to be what is THC. THC is also noted to where the T and the H begin. The reverse of what is H is what is C3, and this is where the THC comes into creation. In order to join up...
You said, does he what?
Oh, my bad for that. I was listening. I have a question about, you know how what the numbers are, like on the piano, there's a midway point, it's called the tritone. I forgot how many half steps that is. But I'm gonna look it up.
On the
What numbers are you dealing with on the piano? You dealing with 8s, and you dealing with is it 72 keys? Ain't that what it is?
36.
Yeah. No, 88. Wait a minute. Man, how about... It's 88 keys, I believe. 88 keys. And yeah, you got your 1 through 8. Your 8 is 1, and then right in the middle is you got your half steps. I gotta go review.
How many keys is it if you count the black? There's 8. There's 8 in the octave. And if you add the black keys, it's how many?
36 and 52.
Uh-huh.
Oh, snap. Okay. Yeah.
There's no black key next to the B, and there's no black key next to the F prior between F and E, and there's no key between B and C. The particular of communication between what is A and G, the silver string, is between what is B and F.
And it's a vortex. It's a vortex. The heart descends into the body in a triple helix. It's a vortex. Okay? And at that point in time starts a pulse that you end up calling your heartbeat. But it's just a pulse. It's a rhythm. It matches with like a pulsating rhythm of the universe and everything. It's a pulse.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, one thing that I'm trying to get more into is healing frequencies and making myself private videos with my voice recorded over the healing frequency. I have one note on the key on piano that I forgot where I heard this, but it was like the realest own. And I was pressing it, and I have in my private video collection my own little affirmations that I might use before I go to the gym or something. But now healing frequencies and yourself speaking to yourself, that's a major key right there.
Yeah, that's an affirmation within itself, listening to your own voice. It gives you more confidence. A lot of people have problems with public speaking or speaking on a public platform. Many people have a problem with that.
Now, host, like, do you think, or also to Mr. Okay, I can't catch his name.
Mr. Tack.
Syntax. So would you? So say I'm trying to have a routine for myself, right? And I want to do one between the hours of 3, 6, 9. Like right now it's 3, so I have my 3-hour block. 6 o'clock I got another 3-hour block. 9 o'clock. Is that a good method to use for 3, 6, 9 as far as the power in that number?
Okay, I'm going to tell you only based on the understanding of a little bit of compression and based on the understanding only of what the numbers say. Okay, they say when you put the gas in your car, when it stops, okay, it stops. Let it go. When they say you charge your phone, don't use the fast charge. Your charge is not made for the fast charge. They didn't make your batteries for the fast charge. They made your batteries to take the fast charge, but well, after a couple of months, your batteries won't be no good. So you have a choice. The fast charge, the faster you charge, the faster your battery's dead. You know what I'm saying? So everything has a setup. Even number 23. The end of a rotation ends on 3 between 4. There's a corridor between 23 and 24. The same thing happened with Grover Cleveland, the 22nd and 24th president, between McKinley and then Trump came in. The duplication of the times is right now. 47:45 is 92. Sorry for jumping off the scale. So where were we?
So halfway, when you just said that about Trump, so if we went halfway back, we'd be at the 24th president?
Let me tell you one thing. The Depression is 1927.
Oh, snap. I know something is coming. The storm is coming, so...
But also, when was you said the date of the Great Depression was 1927, right?
No.
When was the date?
You're right. I did say it, but that's not when it was.
When was it?
1929. Our reflection of the times are in 1927.
Now, check this out. Okay, when was the start of WW1?
I'm going to have to guess 1914.
So it's not a secret as to why people would be depressed.
So right away, when you say WW, what you've actually done to people right now, you've told everybody about a communication network in Atlantis. Did you know that?
Yeah, actually. But expound.
So what happens? The W is 2 and 3 coming together, BC. It joins what is ABC to BCD. What is 1, 2, 3, 6 to 2, 3, 4, 9. Your birth is your breath. That is your 9. It's the continuation of your life, 6, and your connection of your mind and what you do with the life you were born to. You've exchanged over from one system to another, but all along in the exchange of the system, you still have the communication network within the breath. This is when the umbilical cord gets cut and you take your first breath connected to the Father, which is the source.
Yes. Quick question also to build on that. So I'm an artist, right? I'm a music artist. It is Money Ali. So in Jewish gematria, Money Ali is 555, and I'm a life path number 9. What's your take on my life purpose with those numbers?
I'm going to tell you something. I'm really unhappy. I just drew a design to answer your question, and it is freaking gone. Hey.
Hold on. What'd you say, Magnificent?
I said you gotta tell the screen, bro.
5 times.
Oh, my bad. I know it. I got you.
Check this out.
Go ahead, Tack.
On May 5th of 2005, on the 5th day of the year, inverted to 9, because 5 is an invert in 9 when using 2 cubes. I'll explain it after, remember.
Man, hold on a second. You know what I want to tell y'all too, Tax, man, really quick, bro. Magnificent. You know how I brought up 11 being related to a girl, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a life path 9, and she's a life path 5. All our numbers add up to 11. So I said, man, that got to be something.
So, okay, now what you have to do, and I'm only doing this at basic formation, okay? What part of the day were you born at?
2 a.m.
Okay, so you're born 2 a.m. You're born on the cusp between Capricorn and Aquarius. That's 120 minutes. That's a full penalty into the game because I have to associate what's going on during the game. So you've completed a B section, so you've come out in Mars. So you have a twin association, but only in the first house. Okay. I'm just trying to think. Okay, so you have an association, a direct association to what is the balance between 3 and 4, which is 3 different gateways balancing off on 6 and 1, 5 and 2, 3 and 4. Pi is circulating around 3.5. Your heartbeat, the center of this cube. And you can pick up this cube at home, look it up online, find it at a near Dollar Tree. Whatever I speak about, I can show you. We were always going to have the same result. Okay, if I don't have the same result as you, you better tell me what I did wrong. Because it's only what we can do sharing honestly, fair amongst both of us. And this is the story that comes out. This is the result. We can't lie to each other.
See, one of the reasons why you and I resonate so much is because we have an understanding about harmony. The numbers have a harmony. You can't avoid it. You can't look around it. It has a design to it. Also, when you look at the ancient structures and buildings and things that I show, I always tell people, like, these people were living harmoniously. That's why their buildings came out looking perfect. That's the only way you can achieve that, because human error says something's going to come out wrong. But you can eliminate human error with actually with harmony and with a harmonious way of doing whatever you chose to do. Like, whenever we come in here and we decide we're going to share this information harmoniously, people actually get real life healing, whether y'all realize that or not. People are getting healing. But when you take that harmony outside of these places and you decide, I'm going to live harmoniously in my house, I'm going to live harmoniously at work, I'm going to live harmoniously when I'm just messing around and I'm playing, I'm still just going to decide that all of this will be done harmoniously. You touching on something that has existed, longer than people can dig up ancient anything. Harmony is way older than civilization itself.
Now, living in harmony. Does that take more effort or less effort? And how do you?
Does it take more effort for you to? Do you rap or sing?
I rap, but I study. I mean, I'm working on my.
Okay, when you do your ad libs, don't your ad libs have to actually be in a harmonious, like it has to be in harmony with what you're rapping?
Yeah, they gotta. Yeah.
When you do your ad libs, they're supposed to match up with what you were already saying. So it's a harmony, bro. Even though you're not literally harmonizing tones. Still, you know it sounds whack when somebody got whack ad libs on their rap.
Right, yeah.
There's no harmony to
it. Yeah.
So, and when you go into church, go into church and you hear a choir singing, you can tell automatically when somebody's off.
Yep, you can tell.
So it doesn't. I don't think it matters about difficult or easy. Harmony is harmony. And we know what harmony looks like, sound like, all of that kind of stuff. If I say we should be living harmoniously, people shouldn't be digging way deep to trying to figure out what that looks like, bro.
Right.
Just live harmoniously, you know what I'm saying? You know what harmony sound like. You know what harmony looks like. You know what I mean?
You feel like, in your everyday, you know what you should be doing.
Yeah. If I'm caught up on what color you is, I don't want to live harmoniously, bro.
Right. Exactly. Holding on to stuff too long, being upset, or
me and Mr. Tac don't ever discuss what color we is.
No, but they force us to study the difference.
Yeah.
They force us to study. I mean, I know numerically it's just amazing. First of all, it doesn't make any sense, okay? Because it's beige. It's just beige. I mean, beige is brown. So it doesn't make any sense. Do you know what I'm saying? There's something wrong, right? And I think it's explained that in the basis of dividing everything up, the brown is what makes up for the seven, bringing the three gates of the soul together. That when the white comes into the game, it seems like it's because it has nothing to do with the animal soul, which is the earth soul, which is what inherits every single human on the planet, is the earth soul, and it's not the white soul. Okay, it comes from the black. It comes from the house. It's known as brown. That's the house. So so now we have to learn what is brown. So it's a color. It starts with B and R, which is 2 by 19. It expresses itself. It's just crazy. It expresses itself because B and R. B is 2 times 9 equals to 18. R. B is it's B and D. That's all it is. B is part of what is the halfway, and D is whole. Although D is noted to what is half if you're looking at Roman numerals.
It's almost like saying brown is halfway to dark. That's crazy.
Well, I have to look at that. Because how...
I like it, yeah. No, y'all tap the screen, man. Y'all tap the screen, man.
Oh.
Brown is halfway to dark, bro.
Man, that's crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy. He said B is halfway to D. And D is the completion. Bad is halfway to doom.
Okay, so yes. So when you mentioned WW before, so the letter W is the 23rd letter.
Yeah.
So what happens is when you count from A all the way to what the 23rd letter is W, as we said before, it's A, B. A and B creates what is C. Everything begins at C, right? Everything begins at C and everything changes at D. The same thing for W. You get to W and then it changes at X. So what is like C and X is a replica of what is D and W?
How many spaces are there? Okay, hold on. How many spaces? I'm gonna count it myself, but how many spaces are there between C and D, which they're right next to each other, and then W and X? T-U-V, W-X. Yeah, X is right after W. So
Yeah.
23 to 24 spaces.
How about Donald Trump, number 47?
That blew my mind. That one blew my mind.
A double U. Do you realize that the letter W is not two V's? It's two U's. It's two U's. The letter W is two U's. It's not two V's, and it's not an upside down M. It's two U's. It's the double U. Whatever the value of U is, double.
They doubled it. Yeah.
So D and W. Double U. Oh,
You're
now.
still fascinated with the double.
You have to use a D to say the word W.
You do. W. The W.
There's no other way to say W. If you don't use the D, you didn't say that word.
Otherwise, it's just you, I think, without the double. So, did you find out what my phone number was? Is it 6?
6.
Yeah, I thought so. I did
Is
it
it
pretty
two
quickly.
spaces? Is it two spaces in between the U and the W? D-U-V-W. Yeah, 1, 2.
Do you know what that means? They share the same area space. They can share the same area space. By number 22, the V. And you know what's funny is that U, V, and W in Chaldean, right, are all 6, 6, and 6. The other thing.
Whoa! How? Wow! How?
U, V, and W are 6.
U, V, and W.
Are 6.
Oh, that's crazy.
Hey, can you scroll out so I can take a picture of that or screenshot that?
You want me to turn it sideways?
Yeah, that might be easier.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nah, DJ, you is the best, bro. You sit right there, dog. And you be a sponge sometimes, my dog. Be a sponge sometimes. Just soak it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is also very important. Hold on a second. But this is extremely important. I mean, it's not, nothing is mine. Remember, nothing is mine. Understanding what they do. And this is what I call hash marks.
Hash marks. Okay.
It's parts.
That's what I was asking with hash marks.
Right, so these are actually, for me, they're fake marks. Unless I can connect to a corner somewhere to understand my reality. But if we did this with only a protractor, the best way to do this is create a circle and box the circle in. And create another circle and keep boxing your circles in until you create your dimensions.
Yeah.
Right.
So now what this does is every time I have another area, it's because I boxed in the first area. But my first connection will only be here.
Yeah.
And then as we go higher, I can start spreading my wings and understanding. I haven't done the study of this, but the first one is from...
Okay, so the perfect intersection, it doesn't happen all the time.
No.
You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You have 10 intersections before you hit that perfect spot again. And is it the same on the second line? 1, nope. On the second line, you have a perfect intersection right there, boom, twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, every one is a perfect intersection. Now, when you move again, it does the same thing as the top line. It goes 1 and it skips all the way to about the 10th spot, or maybe, because that one's not perfect up there. It looks like at about 10 spaces it takes before you get a perfect intersection again, and it skips a line when it does it.
Check before the line, after the line, before the line, after the line, before the line, after the line, This one maybe is on the line. I'm not a mathematician, right? But what I
Yeah, that
do,
might be on the line.
the Star of David replicates the same thing.
Oh,
It sure does.
yeah, it does.
So now I have a question. Are we going down all the way into it? Because we're starting up here and we're going all the way down. No, I'm going to lose my finger down there. Oh! You know what I'm saying? It looks like a building, doesn't it?
It's sort of like that's the whole point of a singularity, because if you had two free floating dots, you can only pass a line through it twice. That would give you duality, but it wouldn't give you multiplicity. You get what I mean? Only with the single floating dot can you have let me slow down. Only with the single floating dot can you have infinitely many intersections of that one single dot.
If we're working with the Rubik's Cube, right? Do you want to look at that? Because, I mean, we can make anything we want, but what it is about Rubik's Cube, it represents the hexahedron. The hexahedron represents the numeric value of 2160. 2160 represents the numeric value of what is 1.5 times 1440 minutes to a day. The hexahedron also represents what is Earth. 2160 or 1.5 times 1440 is the same numeric value as the diameter of the moon. Sorry, 2160, is that what I said?
Yes, that's what you said.
2160 times 4 equals to 8640, which brings on basically 86,400 seconds in a day, 86,400,000 miles to the moon, or what is 1/3 of the great year of the Mayan of 25,920 divided by 3.
I got a question for you that I'm wondering if you can figure out, or if you already tried to figure it out. What is the difference in the old count and the new count? The old count is a shard. When they changed it from a shard to a year, what do you think they changed?
Okay, now where does this come from? The old count, the new count. I'll tell you one thing: when it's an old count and a new count, there's a new baseball batter coming up to the plate, and this is a new count. So I'm not quite sure. Can you say that again so I can?
So the Sumerians were forced to change their time. They were forced to change how they count time. Now we're aware that when you look at the count of the Mayans, it's a different count. Would you say that the way that the Mayans were counting time, do you think that's the ancient way to count time, and they changed it by the time that they moved over into the Sumerians?
Go ahead.
Do you think that the Sumerians, that's an ancient culture as well, were they using the same time? And because the Gregorian calendar is definitely not the same way to count time. So I'm just wondering, when could they have changed the way they count time? Did they change the way that they count time with the Gregorian calendar, and that's when we came up with a year and we started counting as a year? Or did they change the time before then already? But the time and the way that we count it already changed before then. Because in many of the ancient texts, for example, in the book of Enoch, it says that they counted time as a shard. They called it a shard. So, I'm not saying that the planet exists. I'm not saying that it doesn't. But they say that planet X or Nibiru, they say that it only comes every 3,600 years. And so, if they were counting the shard as a 3,600 year cycle, then that would be a clear-cut answer. But we know for a fact that the time was changed.
There's been no change. Everybody's been illusioned. There's just an illusion in everybody's head.
So you think that when they came with the Gregorian count,
it's just a name change. The Hebrews kept some kind of calendar that was almost the same. In fact, it's exactly the same. It's a moon and sun calendar. It's the same as the Mayan. And out here, when Jesus came, what they did is instead of the 5 name days, what did you call it? The chard?
Yeah, the chard.
Yeah, because the card in that, break down that word. You have 5 letters. We're going to break it down to 4 letters. We're going to break it down to 3 letters. We're going to break it down to 2 letters. Okay? So that's an association at 26. So what has happened is the Mayans had a 5-day name day, or a 5-day supplement, and that 5-day supplement comes on the 25th, 5+ days, comes on the 25th when we have Christmas time. So they make the same separation as we do at Christmas, and they use the same first 2 letters, CH, right, for Christmas, for Christ, for chart, same thing. The other thing, what was that other part you mentioned?